Well, another strange coaching firing in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets, who are currently fourth in the Western Conference, have parted ways with head coach Mike Malone and general manager Calvin Booth. 53-year-old Malone was the winningest coach in Nuggets history and just won a title 2 years ago. Well, the Spurs have been eliminated from playoff contention, but they still have some business to finish out the season. Take on the Clippers in L.A. tonight. Tip-off set for 9:30.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. We were going to start with one shining moment. Talk all about the greatness of making it through an entire basketball game without leaving early, because nobody could have left that game early or turned it off and go to bed. But no, the NBA says, hold my beer, NCAA. We're just going to take, a championship-winning coach, and we're going to fire him. And the general manager. Complete cleaning of the house in Denver. What is going on in Denver?
With 4 games left to play, you're the 4th seed in the Western Conference, and why not just fire the coach just to add some spice to the season? I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. Not?
No.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, all of a sudden, Shams tweets, Nuggets fired head coach Mike Malone. What? WTF. What? Seriously? And then a few minutes later, and the GM, he's gone too. There's four games left for a team that is in the postseason. Now, granted, they have been struggling. They've lost 4 games in a row. Well, that'll get you fired in Denver. What?
Yeah, apparently so.
Make any of this make sense. If you're going to clean house, do it at the end of the season. And that's clearly what they're doing. You fire Malone, cool. Booth, you win. You fire Booth, cool. Malone, you win. By the way, Malone, you've been here a lot longer, and you've built a championship culture. You just won a championship. I don't know. Your superstar seems to like you. But you fire them both right before the end of the regular season? What?
I don't get it. I mean, when the Grizzlies did this, you're like, what the hell's going on in Memphis? But 4 games left to go in the regular season. I mean, and you're the 4th seed. You're battling for playoff life to stay in the regular playoffs or the play-in game. And how in the world do the players play now? I mean, honestly, and I say that because unless they were all advised of this, and I'm not sure Joker was, but I mean, how do you go out and say, well, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? I mean, they got to go to Sacramento and play. It's unbelievable to me. And I tell you what, it's another one of those, Luka Doncic tweets that you thought was fake. Unbelievable what's going on in the NBA this year.
It's, with Taylor up in Memphis, Taylor Jenkins, you go, okay, they just want to, light a fire under the team. Couple weeks to go, that makes sense. 4 games to go. Now, Denver, and I believe they've already deleted it and put it back or fixed it, but, while Kroenke had this lovely statement about how this was well thought out, there were like 3 typos in their original press release. So I don't know how well thought out it was because the quick damage control looked bad, but I think they realized their typos. And technically, Booth, he's just not getting renewed, and he can go home today and not worry about the rest of the time.
Yeah, you got a couple-week paid vacation, so just go take it and leave. Honestly, I'm baffled by this. I don't get it. Michael Malone obviously was a hell of a coach. Winningest coach there in Denver history, I'm accurate with that, right? He won a championship 2 years ago.
Yep.
How do you fire that guy with 4 games left to go in the season? I mean, that just seems disrespectful on the face of it. I mean, it's not like they're last in the Western Conference. They're the 4th seed as we sit right here today.
So he's not Coach Bud?
No. Now, Coach Bud, I get he's gonna be fired. I understand that, But keep in mind, too, Jamal Murray's been gone.
Yeah.
For this 4-game losing streak. That
Reasons
Denver's
or
on.
excuses, Joe?
Well, that's a reason, is it not? It's one of their best players, without a doubt. And is that Michael Malone's fault? Oh, well, I'm sorry. You know, you lose Murray. That's too bad. You should do better.
It doesn't make sense. And if you think from the ownership seat, whatever's gone on, and apparently Malone and Booth did not like each other. They didn't talk. They talked bad about each other behind their back. Lots of high school drama, right?
Who doesn't do that to their boss? About their boss.
I mean, that's true.
Not you, Dax.
No. No. Well, we got stories. But in all seriousness, if they get bounced in the first round, you fire the guy and it makes sense.
Yes.
But if he wins a title, you can't. And clearly management wanted to move on.
Well, obviously they wanted to move on. The guy gets called into the office today, and he's told you're fired. You're done. Again, look, they could slide all the way down to number 8 before it's all said and done. With 4 games left, they're not playing well. But how in the world is it? Make it make sense to me that you fire your head coach and your general manager, and that's supposed to uplift the players? I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. This Adelman guy, is that Rick's son or what? Is he related to Rick Adelman somewhere down the line?
I'm sure the NBA is full of that. Now, let's see. We're 7 minutes in. Is it too soon to go? Possible Spurs guy? Could he replace Pop if Pop decides to retire? Because that's 2 coaches that have been fired in the last month that if Pop does decide to retire, I think would be serious candidates for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, Taylor Jenkins started his career in San Antonio, and while Malone never worked for the Spurs, he and Pop are tight. And you think about Malone style and Pop style, I mean, you look at the other options out there that keep coming up, the Buds of the world or Mike Browns. I'd much rather have Malone. I would only have maybe Steve Kerr ahead of any of these guys, and Malone over Jenkins.
Well, look, Malone is a guy that you obviously want to think about. If that's the case, if Pop decides that he's going to call it quits, then obviously you got to look at a Michael Malone, don't you? I mean, that's why I don't understand Denver. Look, Malone is one of those hard-nosed coaches, and there was rumors flying around. There's reports going on now that, you know, maybe he wasn't getting along with some of the players. Maybe he had lost the locker room. I don't know. But it's just strange to me that you fire your head coach and your general manager 4 games before the playoffs are about to begin, wherever you end up. And Michael Malone's got that experience, and you would think that going into the playoffs, things could turn around. You've got professional players that are being paid very well. They should pull their heads out of their behinds and play basketball. So it just doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't see how this helps anything because the owner in his statement said we want to win a championship this year.
This year. And I'm like, well, this will do it. Yeah, Rick's son will get it done.
Wow. I mean, this is just nuts. It makes no sense.
Makes no sense. I can't wait to hear Denver address this. I can't wait to hear how the Joker feels. Because in a time period where we can dream a little, if Joker's really pissed, could he force his way with Malone to San Antonio to pair with Wemby?
Well, that'd be fantastic.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. And so to make that happen, what would you give up? Everybody?
Devin, Jeremy.
Everybody?
Sure, but Wemby.
Everybody but Wemby.
I mean, honestly, Denver's doing dumb things. They might take Keldon and Devin and Jeremy and, I don't know, a bunch of draft picks. I don't know. I mean, in reality, though, Malone to San Antonio makes a lot of sense.
It certainly makes a lot of sense. He and Pop are good friends. In fact, I was reading today that Pop was instrumental in getting him the job in Denver.
Yep.
So, and then Malone, well, he took it from there, developed a winning culture in Denver, and you fire the guy for it. I tell you what, if NBA owners are going to fire guys because they lose 4 in a row, we're going to have 3 or 4 coaches for a team per year. I mean, it just does not make any sense. It really does not.
None. But Pop needs to make a decision sooner rather than later, while these candidates are still candidates, because somebody else is going to go try and scoop them up. This puts more pressure on Greg Popovich or the organization for Pop to decide what he wants to do, because if Malone is a guy that Peter Holt or RC or whoever's making the decision is interested in, they've got to act quickly, because I imagine there will be other jobs open that are also going to target Mike Malone.
Well, the Memphis job is open.
Yep.
And now the Denver job is open. So could they switch coaches? I mean, is that a possibility?
Sure.
I mean, who knows? But I agree with you. And look, again, I think Spurs fans and nobody is happy about what happened to Greg Popovich. I mean, that should go without saying.
Sure.
But at some point in time for the future of this franchise, yes, that decision needs to be made. Now, I was thinking Pop still had a few games left. We wait till the regular season's over, and then you make that call. But with what's happening now, because Mike Budenholzer is going to be fired.
Yep.
He's going to be available. It's nuts. Yeah, there needs to be a decision made. Now, I don't know. Some people might think it's disrespectful to talk about Pop's replacement before Pop has announced that he's stepping down. If Pop comes back 100%, if Pop comes back and he can coach, then Pop's a coach. I got no problem with that. But one way or the other, that decision needs to be made, and it needs to be made soon.
As important as this offseason is going to be, and we've talked about this for weeks, with another lottery pick coming, hopefully, top 4, maybe 1, Cooper Flag. Money to spend in free agency. You've got your core with Wemby, Fox, and Steph Castle. Now is the time to accelerate forward, and you have to do that with a coach. You can't do that in limbo, and if Pop is not going to be the coach, if he does, in fact, decide to retire, whoever the new head coach is going to have input on how free agency is spent, on who that draft pick might be, if it's not Cooper Flag. So the timing of everything, because I was with you, couple of weeks into the playoffs, maybe through the first round, at some point, end of April, mid-May, Pop's got to make a decision. It might have to be in the next week or two.
It could be.
I mean, in reality, you might have to legitimately say in the next week or two, Pop is going to have to make a decision.
You know, just looking at some of the other possibilities of head coach openings, there's going to be a few, obviously.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's going to make a difference, and a decision needs to be made. And look, Pop knows this. He knows this, and he sees what's happening, and he knows that as well. And only he can tell us, and probably a few others there within the Spurs organization, as to which way he's leaning. You know, is he leaning one way or the other? I have a feeling he is. So we'll see when a decision is made. But at this point in time, you're right. As important as this offseason is, something has got to be done, and something's got to be done soon.
Florida cut down the Nets last night.
As predicted.
Shut up.
Just saying.
You did. Didn't want to beer bet it, though. You would have won.
I didn't. No,
you didn't want a beer bet.
You didn't want a beer bet. You didn't trust Houston. Come on.
You want to check the tape?
Sure. There was no mention of a beer bet, although I wish I would have.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
Let's talk about the rough show in the second half. Coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I want to talk to you about Stevens Roofing and Solar. I love Stevens Roofing and Solar. Been talking about them for a long time, and I'm very happy to do so. Look, they're a family-owned company, a locally based company, and which means they deal with the same weather that you and I do every single day of the year. And this time of year is always a little, up and down when it comes to those spring storms. You never know. We've had a few of them where the rain comes in, the hail comes in, the big wind comes in. All of that can do damage to your house. And you know as well as I do, when storms come through, you know what happens, right? You get these guys that come knocking at your door and just say, hey, we're in the neighborhood. But then a few months from now, you won't ever be able to find them again. You don't want to do that. You want to deal with somebody that has got big, deep roots in San Antonio, and that is Stevens Roofing and Solar. You want somebody that deals with the same weather that we do. And look, right now, if you give Stevens Roofing a call at 210-785-0994, they'll send a crew out for a free, no-obligation roof inspection. So whether you need a new roof, you need a minor repair, or just a confirmation that your roof is in great shape, they're going to give you that peace of mind that you want and you need when those storms come rolling in. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the best in the business. Why bother with anybody else? Call them and do it today. 210-785-0994.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B. It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, we were standing on the court. The confetti had fallen. Players were taking pictures with the trophy. And this started running on the scoreboard. So we still got to see it, Joe.
Well, kind of. I just saw it. I didn't hear it. So, but I'm okay with it because I really don't care. So it's all right. No, but it was good. What a fun night it was last night inside the Alamo Dome. No kidding. If you watch the game at home, I know you know what a great game it was. But the atmosphere, the electricity in the Alamo Dome was just off the chart. It was incredible.
The city of San Antonio did well. It looked great. Everything about it was spectacular. The game, the first half was incredible. The second half, I can't decide if I watched good basketball or unwatchable basketball, but it had no flow because the referees completely changed the game. There were 4 fouls called in the entire first half. In the second half, there were 30. And neither team shot the ball well, and Houston offensively will do that. And with their defense, they did that to Florida, holding Florida to under 70. First time Houston has lost when holding an opponent under 70. But the refs, and I'm not typically one that blames the refs. Every time I do, I say that. I'm not one that, but so when I see it, it's like, but at one point last night, the crowd started chanting, "Refs, you suck," and I completely agree. I mean, the game was officiated so differently in the second half than the first half. And if you're watching at home versus in the building, and I know the flow is, it almost seems like, I'm curious if you were, when watching it, did it almost become unwatchable? Like, if it wasn't for the national championship on the line, would you have turned that game off? Even though it was a good game, but because of the way it was officiated, would you have turned that game off?
No, I would not have. What was weird, and I was bitching about it. I mean, there were 8 foul calls in the first 3 minutes of the second half. 8 in the first 3 minutes of the second half, and 7 of those were against the Florida Gators. And so that changed the whole game around right there. That's how Houston was able to build their 12-point lead. And then all of a sudden, that flip-flopped.
Yep.
Where all the calls went against Houston. And it was like, what? I don't know what's going on here. I mean, it was crazy. That allowed Florida to get back in the game. And then I think we had a pretty good finish after that. But I don't know what was going on with the officials in that second half.
I know this isn't the case. But when things like what we saw happen, it makes you question. Were they told at halftime, hey, don't let somebody run away with this? Were they told, we got to make sure we keep our viewers, don't let this game turn into a blowout, because it was officiated so differently. I know that doesn't happen, but when you see things like that, it makes you question it. And as long as there's those questions, not enough TV time for those refs. They were reviewing stuff that didn't seem like it needed to be reviewed.
I mean, just dumb stuff, right? I mean, that they had to go over and check. Some of the fouls were just non-existent, and then you'd see the replay and you say, well, okay, that was a foul. But just the difference in the way they called the game from the first half to the second, and I thought it was interesting. You and I were in the tunnel at halftime talking with Kyle Stevens and some of the other UTSA PR types, and the prediction was made by one of them,
Brian.
Yeah, that, oh boy, the way they called this game in the first half, we're going to see the complete opposite in the second. And he was spot on.
Yep.
Spot on. And it was incredible. And because that first half was fantastic. They were allowing the players to play. Things got physical. And it was just a good, hard-fought basketball game in that first half. And then everything changed in the second.
Now, Florida led for barely a minute, just over a minute. But they had the lead when it mattered most.
Yep.
The fact that Houston couldn't get a shot off in the final minute. They had the final possession and couldn't get a shot off. That will keep Calvin Samson up at night for the rest of his life.
I'm just going through those last 2 possessions more than anything else. It's incomprehensible in that situation. We couldn't get a shot. We're down 2, and obviously we didn't need a 3. But, with Emmanuel, we were struggling to score the entire second half. We got, good looks, but Florida was doing a good job running us off the line and forcing us to score it. But we just didn't do a very good job of finishing some shots. Guys that's been in the paint, scoring all year. LJ's developed a really good runner, floater. I didn't go very much tonight. Milos. But, give Florida credit, too. I'm not going to sit up here and poor mouth and pity mouth us. We held that team to 65 points. Clayton and Martin combined to go 5 for 20. If you'd have told me we'd hold those two guys to 5 for 20, and we had a good plan. We just didn't score it well enough to win.
Dude, and that's true. I mean, you talk about Clayton. He didn't score till there was 8 minutes left in the second half. Now, he ends up with 11 points, but the dude did not score, which was incredible. And great player. But early in that game, he was putting up shots that were just ridiculous. I mean, just ridiculous.
The whole the back and forth, everything. And it looked like Houston was going to be able to celebrate. It looked like Houston had won that game. And I don't know what happened to Coach Samson at the end, because his mind must have just been spinning. Now, granted, it's an emotional loss, and you're forced to do media almost immediately after. But what the hell is this guy thinking?
The biggest thing that they needed to hear me say is I loved them, because I did. I loved this team. This was a once-in-a-lifetime team, and that's why I felt like we could win the national championship with this group. I want to thank our fans that made this place such a awesome experience for our kids, playing a national championship game with so many great Sooner fans.
What?
Can't thank our fans enough for coming here and supporting us.
He just said say Sooner fans?
He did.
When did he stop coaching at Oklahoma? 2006? Sooner fans?
Wow. That was kind of a slip. And look, hey, Coach, you're great, and we love you, but you're in Houston now?
You've been in Houston for
years.
A
long time. I mean, look, the guy was distraught, but Sooner fans?
Still?
It's like calling your wife the wrong name, isn't it? Holy cow.
I've never had that experience.
Well, I'm just saying.
How bad is that?
You've only had one wife.
Yeah. How bad is that, Joe?
Well, it's not good. Woo! I'm telling you, it's that's not good, Coach. Not good at all.
Now, Coach Samson had not completely lost his mind, because they only had 5 assists last night, which is really low for their team. And he was asked about the low number of assists.
Well, let me explain how an assist works, Evan. I'm not sure, but when you throw the ball to somebody and they score, that's an assist, right? Well, we threw the ball a lot to J1 in the post, and he missed some shots that he normally makes. So those were possible potential assists that we had a lot. We just didn't make a lot of shots. I don't know if it's certainly Florida. Let's give them credit for being a good defensive team. But we threw the ball and passed the ball enough to get more assists. We just didn't make enough shots. That's what I would say right off the bat. But you're the stat guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, so he didn't completely lose everything. I mean, he still understands what an assist is.
Well, I mean, come on. He was being a little condescending there to the guy. I get
a little?
It.
A little?
I mean, come on. Yeah, we know what an assist is, Coach. And look, a legit question. You had 5 assists. That's all. And so, yeah, I get you didn't make shots. That's the answer. Well, we were there. We had some opportunities. We didn't make shots. But you don't blow up a guy for asking a legit question.
Potential assist needs to be a new stat.
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps it does. It just, look, both teams missed a lot of easy shots. How many little bunnies did Condon miss?
Dude.
The big dude from Florida?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, how tall is that dude? Almost 7 feet? And he's a little soft. I'm just going to say it. okay? I mean, the guy could have dunked. It seemed like several times, and he just like
But with the physical defense that was there, a lot of missed shots for both teams because both teams are really good defensively. Houston, elite defensively. Florida, still really good defensively.
Yeah.
So you look at some of these missed shots. Was it just missed shots, or do you credit defense? Do you look at Houston? Did they choke that game away?
No.
Or do you credit Florida for making the plays down the stretch? Because Florida did to Houston what Houston did to Duke.
But Florida's been doing that all year. Florida did that twice before in the tournament.
Yes.
With Texas Tech and UConn. They did the same thing. Well, that Florida team has just got to when it comes to winning time, they know how to win, and they know how to get it done. That down the stretch to me was just a great basketball game. It was both teams making plays and making it very difficult. And I think, to me, that's what it was. I don't think anybody choked that thing away. It was just bad possession by Houston, obviously, when they had a chance to either shoot a three to win it or tie it up. That was a bad possession.
You got to get a shot off.
You got to get a shot off. But other than that, so I wouldn't say Houston. But I had two very good basketball teams that were in a dogfight, and Florida just happened to come out on top.
Florida.
And I was pretty happy about it because they were only -1. They won by 2.
Dude, Vegas. Vegas is always right.
Love it.
Love it.
I was a little nervous when they were down 12.
A little nervous?
I was.
A little nervous?
Little nervous.
Little nervous?
So I went down and saw the officials and paid them off.
Yeah,
got them back in the game.
And there's photographic evidence of us going down to find the officials because we walk by Wemby, or Wemby walks by us, and there's video of it everywhere. Not of us, of Wemby, but we're just in the background.
Well, Bear County Social just sent a picture right here.
Yeah.
And he's talking about my popped up.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, it's just the way that shirt goes. It's not. You didn't lay down like a collar.
Bear apparel.
Yeah, maybe he should.
Does Mr. White Belt really have his collar popped?
You know, if the white belt was showing there too, it'd be a hell of a look.
Yeah, it is a hell of a look. And it says Minnick's trying not to make eye contact. I don't know what that means.
So as tall as Wemby is, what is he, 7'3"?
Sure.
Did you see the Florida kid who's 7'9"?
Dude, that kid's 8 feet tall and can barely walk.
But he's a big boy. I mean, he's not a skinny thing. He's huge.
I want to see, because he's a freshman.
Yes.
And this guy, but he doesn't even. I want to watch him play basketball. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he's athletic or he's just tall, and so they put him on the team. But watching him walk around, completely bypass the ladder to cut the nets down. I don't need a step. Here we go. I mean, it was that dude was wow.
7'9", dude. That guy's walking by me, and I'm like breaking my neck to look up.
Well, that's kind of how I am when Wemby walks by.
I've never seen a human being that tall before in my whole life.
It was crazy.
So we'll see how he does.
You know, so my weekend. See, Friday night, I'm at a bar, and the dudes from the band Mini Kiss walk in. Now, I had no idea that one of those guys is actually from San Antonio. So they've been on tour, and they got about a week before they go out to the West Coast, so they're hanging out in San Antonio. If you've never seen Mini Kiss, look them up.
Mini Kiss.
Mini Kiss.
As in small kiss or many of them?
Many. They're little people.
Oh, okay.
They're little people.
All right, I got you.
So, Friday night I'm at the bar with Mini Kiss. And then Monday night I'm standing next to a dude that's 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
That makes Wemby look short.
So Friday night you felt tall?
Yes.
Last night, pretty short.
I know how Wemby feels now.
That dude towered over Wemby.
Yeah, he did. It was crazy.
It was crazy how tall that man is. Unbelievable. So I can't wait to watch that dude play next year.
if he can move, I wonder how athletic he is, because
he's not athletic.
He does not walk well.
No, he's not athletic, but who cares? I'm sitting him in the paint and throwing the ball up to him. Who the hell's going to stop him?
I mean, think about it. This dude is bigger than Boban. I mean, that dude was insane.
Well, and that's what's impressive about this guy last night for Florida. He's 7'9", but he's not skinny. I mean, he's beefy.
Yeah,
beefy's not the right word, but
run.
He's solid.
He's pudgy. He was pudgy.
Okay, well, they'll get him into shape.
I mean, I just can't imagine watching that guy run.
I just couldn't imagine just watching that guy. Never seen a human being
Dude, we said that about Wemby. You say that about everybody that's
he's
tall.
Got Wemby by 6 inches.
It's crazy.
Holy cow.
Who is the old wrestler, dude? Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
How tall was Andre the Giant?
He wasn't 7'9".
All right. You sure?
I'm positive.
Crazy. Closer and closer to the draft in Green Bay. Mel Kiper's got his latest mock out. Little different for the Cowboys. What is Mel thinking now for the Dallas Cowboys? What, 7'4"? That's all Andre the Giant was, 7'4"? Huh.
Yeah, but he was like 500 pounds, wasn't he?
Wow.
That dude.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll talk some NFL coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th, for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon Friday.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames, because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Tuesday afternoon. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always comment there. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
A lot of people are. A lot of people talking about the officiating last night. And it's hard not to. I mean, on social media, the referees just got bashed for that. And I wish they wouldn't have done that. Such a great first half, and then, boy, the second half was just muddled.
It just call the game consistently. If that was a foul in the first half, is a foul in the second half. In the first half, you told both the Gators and Cougars, this is how we're calling this game.
Yep.
And they changed. Why? Were they told? It leads to that speculation, or at least as a fan wondering, were they told, hey, man, this could get out of hand. We got to hold the TV audience. Don't let this game be a runaway. And I hate that. But you see things like that, and you go, if I'm thinking it, you're thinking it, perception is reality. The refs kept Florida in that game for a while, and then, of course, at the end, they end up winning.
What do you mean they kept them in it for a while? Dude, they called 7 fouls on Florida in the first 3 minutes and allowed Houston to run out to a 12-point lead.
And then they got Florida back in by whistle after whistle after whistle after whistle.
The problem is, what was it, a 4-point game at halftime? I think something like that. I don't have the box score in front of me. So that was a game. Both teams were in a flow. Both teams were playing physical. Both teams, that's the kind of game we wanted to see. And it was a 4-point game. Could have been anybody's game if you continued to let that happen. And well, they didn't. So, but it's okay. It turned out just the way it was supposed to.
Well, again, you had Florida in your bracket. You
I
put
did.
money on Florida last night.
I did. -1, by the way.
Again, Vegas is always right.
-1.
I mean,
how much they win by?
2. Yet you didn't want a beer bet yesterday. I could be 0 for 2.
Nobody talked about a beer
Pledge
bet yesterday.
did. Pledge did. You guys should make this a beer bet, and you're the one that said no.
I did?
Yes.
I didn't say no.
You did.
No.
You did.
I did not. If you
Pledge.
listened to the show yesterday, somebody tell me, when did I say no to a beer bet?
Somebody even tweeted you last night.
They did?
Yes.
No, they didn't.
Hold on. Let me find it.
I'm getting railroaded here.
Well, you're getting railroaded?
It's not justified. I'm not afraid of beer bets at all.
Somebody tweeted last night, or maybe it was on our Instagram page. Go look there. Said, Joe, you should have taken him up on that beer bet.
Nobody said that. Come on.
So now you're like calling me a liar.
Nobody said
Hang on,
that.
let me prove you wrong.
Well, I was here. I know we didn't do that, so it's all good. It doesn't matter. But I don't think I did, because I would have. I'd be enjoying a nice 12-pack of Flight by Yingling.
You could be. You could be, yet you're not, because you. Hang on. Let me find this. Hang on. In an effort to prove myself right, let me find this comment. It's in here somewhere. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Ryan right here on our Ryan Wickeden. It's on the San Antonio Sports Star account. Should have made that beer bet to get some wins on your side so Jason doesn't keep getting all the wins.
I should have made that beer bet. Nobody said I didn't. I turned it down. See, there's a difference.
You should have made it as saying you turned it down.
Whatever.
Caller just said he heard that. Well, we got to talk to the caller, Pledge. I mean, because Joe doesn't believe me, and he doesn't believe you.
Oh, wait, what? I want to hear it on tape. Never heard. I don't remember that. I'm not not saying I'm the king of remembering things.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
But I certainly don't remember turning down a beer bet. I felt pretty confident. I think I would have done it.
I don't think you were overly confident at the end of the show yesterday.
Well, I don't think anybody should have been confident going into that game.
I was confident yesterday Houston was going to win that game.
Well,
and I was really confident when they were up double digits, almost to the point where if you had said, let's leave, I would have said, okay. No, I was not going to leave that game.
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you were razzing me when they were up 12.
Mm-hmm.
You doing your hands like that, cheering and stuff, which we're not supposed to do, but you were doing it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Then you got awfully quiet.
I did.
After they tied it up.
I did. I wasn't the only one that was tight inside that Alamo Dome. I can tell you that, man. Everybody was a little quenched watching that thing go, what? And you don't get a shot off at the end.
I felt bad for the students there. Because the Houston students were sitting right in front of us. And, boy, they were just, come walking up the stairs right by us. They were just depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Almost crying depressed.
Some were. They lost a national championship.
They did.
It's the beauty of sport.
Yeah. Game could have gone either way. It was a great game.
Mm-hmm. Next up on the big calendar, the NFL Draft.
Couple of weeks, huh?
Couple of weeks away, live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Seems like an odd place to go have the draft. But if you're going to go to Green Bay, I hear April, it's lovely. Far better than December.
40 degrees?
Maybe. I don't know. Mel Kiper's mock draft today. Cowboys take Omarion Hampton at the 12. And in the second round, because he did a 2-round mock, Trey Amos, the corner out of Ole Miss. Little surprised at both of those from Mel Kiper, to be honest.
Well, I am too, and I don't think that's going to stand, and he'll do something. But look, the more you look into this Hampton kid, he's a pretty solid running back. I mean, he really is. Not that I think the Cowboys should draft a running back at number 1, but if they went that way, I don't know how upset I would be. I still think a wide receiver there would be better than a running back. But if they went with this Hampton kid, everything I've read on him, he's just a big
He's a stud.
Well, at North Carolina, he was a stud. There's a difference between North Carolina and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just saying.
Genty's coming from Boise State, my friend,
Exactly
and he's going in
right.
the top 10.
Exactly right. So we'll see how Genty does.
I just look at I'm leaning wide receiver if I were making the pick. I'm not mad at running back. But I would be surprised if they did go with a defensive back with that second pick, because there will still be good wide receivers, great wide receivers, a potential number 2 wide receiver available at 44. They're also the same with a running back. This is where, honestly, you kind of mix your draft board, which everybody's going to say they're going best player available.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the best player available, according to my grades, that play wide receiver or running back. And if you're looking at your board and, Hampton is available and he's right up there, and grades are similar to some of these wide receivers, and there's so many more receivers, you've got a better opportunity to get that dude in the second round. Now, this is a deep running back class, too, so you don't have to, if Hampton is off the board at 12, which would surprise me if he is, but you don't have to stretch and go get a running back that you would have taken late second round, early third, based on your grading, because you need both. You need a playmaking wide receiver opposite CeeDee Lamb, and you need a real running back. And they've got a nicer running back room today than they did at the end of last season, but it's still not a running back room that is going to help you get into the postseason. Well, they need a running back.
Well, you need a guy that I think you can rely on for a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years to come. And I think that's what if you're going to draft a guy, that's what you got to be thinking about, right? Because the 2 guys they picked up, they're not long-term solutions.
No.
I mean, they're not. So you need to, if you're going to draft somebody, especially if you draft Hampton at 12, you're going to hope that this guy works out and he's your running back for the foreseeable future. Again, it is a deep running back draft, but if Hampton's there and he's the guy they like on their list, I don't think they should do it, but I don't know that I would be upset with it. I think this kid, just again, everything I've seen, he looks like he's the real deal.
The idea that they have so many needs, and while Steven will say we're not done in filling out the roster through free agency, and after the draft, you're going to see a lot of the guys that haven't been picked up yet. But those kind of plug-and-play guys, more for depth than immediate impact. Whoever they draft at 12 has to have immediate impact. They need some linemen. I would be surprised with their needs at the skill position that they go line there. They need a running back. They need a wide receiver. I would much rather have Hampton than, say, the McMillan kid out of Arizona. Tet McMillan is a great wide receiver, but he scares me based on his comments about not loving football. Can you use the 12th overall pick on that guy? Mel Kiper, in his mock today, has him going at number 20.
Yeah.
Where up until about 2 weeks ago, he was a top 15 pick, almost consensus across all mock drafts. Those comments hurt him.
They did hurt him, and nobody wants that. You gotta live football. So, yeah, it may have hurt him, and maybe he'll change his mind and things will work out better and he'll get a different tune. But it's going to be interesting to see. Look, these mock drafts are fun. They're fun to talk about, but I'm ready for the real deal. Because does anybody really know? And you start at the top of the draft. I'm pretty convinced now that I think Tennessee's going to go with Cam Ward.
Okay.
But after that, I don't know. I don't know what Cleveland's going to do. I don't think they're going to take Sanders there.
No.
So I think they're either going to go Hunter or Abdul Carter.
I mean, they don't have a quarterback, so they better go Carter.
They got Kenny Pickett.
Like I said, they don't have a quarterback, so they better go Carter and try to beat everybody 7-3.
Well, they may be able to do that. You got Garrett and Carter on both ends. That's going to be pretty stout.
And then Travis Hunter ends up where, in New York? And, so it's interesting. kind of like the NCAA tournament goes chalk. I don't know that it will go chalk early because Cleveland, do they go Travis Hunter, or do they go Carter? You figure whoever Cleveland doesn't take, the Giants will. Looking at the fact that the Giants signed Winston and Russell Wilson, I would be shocked if they took Shedeur Sanders.
Well, I do too. I look, and Shedeur is kind of fallen down the way a little bit. I think most mocks have him now going to New Orleans at number 9.
Which, I mean, Carolina doesn't need a quarterback. The Jets, they need a quarterback. Would he go there, but with a first-year coach? The Raiders, remember all the talk about him going to the Raiders? They just signed Geno. Ashton Genty is likely to end up there. Jacksonville doesn't need a quarterback. New England doesn't need a quarterback. So I also wonder, if you're the Giants, do you trade? Do you trade back for somebody that wants to jump up and get Shedeur Sanders? All the mocks have Shedeur falling. But we've all been around this long enough to know that as you get close to the draft, a quarterback-needy team is going to get desperate, and they're going to move up, and you're going to see quarterbacks taken. We saw that last year. Nobody had Penix going in the first round, let alone top 10. Nobody had Bo Nix going as high as he did. Say what you want now, but as you get closer, that's going to happen. And the knocks on Shedeur Sanders, I don't know. I was watching this deal on NFL Network over the weekend, and they're going through all these quarterbacks that didn't win a lot of games in college, but they created offense. What does Shedeur Sanders do? He has created offense. They use Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes as examples. Not big winners in college, but you knew they could create offense, and that's what teams are looking at. And they were trying to make the case for drafting a Shedeur Sanders.
I'm just not sure he's ready right now. And so I think he needs to go to a team that has a veteran quarterback, and I think New Orleans would be perfect. You got Derek Carr there. You let him work behind Carr, and then, next year perhaps he's ready to go. I don't know that he's a guy that I would want to rely on. If you're Cleveland at 2, you want to have him start day 1 for you. Because, look, again, Cleveland is not a team that is at the bottom of the barrel. Their defense is one of the best defenses in the National Football League. So I don't know if you trot out a rookie quarterback who is going to need some seasoning in the NFL. And not saying that Shedeur's not going to be a great quarterback. He may very well be. What I'm saying is I think he needs some time to cook. He's not quite done yet.
He's not. The 24th of this month, we'll find out.
Is that when it is? The 24th?
April.
Wow.
The NFL draft. Want to go to Green Bay?
Sure. Oh. Let's go. I'd love to go to Green Bay. Sometime in the, not when it's December or January or February.
Yeah, as much as I'd love to go watch a game at Lambeau, it'd have to be preseason.
It'd have to be.
And I don't want to go to a preseason game.
Well, you could go to, game 1 or 2. It might be all right. September.
Might be, but you realize how difficult it is to travel during football season.
Well, good point.
Friday night football
take the show up there.
Live from Milwaukee.
It's Saturday night.
I was thinking Laverne and Shirley at your age, but, whatever.
Shamil. Shamazel.
I knew. There you go. I did an hour with AJ this morning. He sings, too. I don't know who's worse at singing, you or him.
Well, we're both pretty bad, but we enjoy it. That's all that matters. I do this job for my entertainment, Minix.
Oh, okay.
Our
job is to make sure people don't push a button.
What kind of button?
On their car radio.
Panic button?
Yeah, well, there's that.
Uh-huh.
There is that. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot of Christmas gift ideas out there. And there's one that's perfect for one Joe Reinagel. Pre-sale orders are being taken right now. And I know Joe's going to bitch and bitch and bitch about this coming up, but he wants one or two or whatever you guys are willing to get him. But if you've been thinking about what to get old Uncle Joe besides a white belt, we've got a great gift idea for you. We'll explain coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Texas coastal waterfront properties starting at only $49.9?
That's right. Driftwood Acres at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay, is extending their grand opening for one day, this Saturday. Book your private tour to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access, starting at just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, resort-style pool and cabana, community fishing pier, boat and RV storage, and so much more. It's happening Saturday, April 12th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at an unbelievable $49.9. Just $49.9. Call to book your private tour or for information for this Saturday. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now. 210-853-0389. Texas waterfront properties will never be more affordable. 210-853-0389.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The Easter Bunny? He's lost his dazzle. His tail? Flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, no more poof, see?
And those eggs? They're supposed to be spiffy, colorful, full of magic, but they're drab, streaky, like they've been kissed by dust bunnies.
And when the cabbage we're shelling out for eggs, they ought to be the cat's pajamas. But nope, everything's on the fritz, and we know why.
Hard water.
Nasty build-up, filmy gunk. It's giving the whole shebang the heebie-jeebies.
It needs a Connecticut. Their line electric, high-efficiency water softness make water the bee's knees. Your skin, smoother than a gangster's alibi. And eggs?
Gleaming like gold in a G-man's pocket.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE.
It's a limited time, so hop to it, see?
License number 38961.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the big news of the day is coming out of Denver. The Nuggets, well, they're currently 4th in the West, but they've parted ways with their head coach, Mike Malone. They've also said goodbye to their general manager, Calvin Booth. The 53-year-old Malone was the winningest coach in Nuggets history, won a title just a couple of years ago. And the Florida Gators are your national champs. They came from a 12-point deficit in the second half to beat Houston 65-63.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Yeah.
Taco
Happy
Tuesday.
Monday, or Tuesday. What
day
is it?
Dude, you're not that sleep deprived.
I'm telling you, man. It was a long night. Fun night, but a long night.
Can we hear a little Taco Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday!
See, one Chris Stapleton understands the assignment. He's in San Antonio. He was at the game last night after performing on Sunday at the Music Fest. And I'm seeing on Facebook that Chris Stapleton walked into Jalisco Taqueria number 4 today for lunch.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Down on
Very
the south
cool.
side.
Yeah.
He said, I don't need any Riverwalk rice and beans. I'm going south side.
Of course.
And he went to Jalisco Taqueria number 4. Because, you got to make sure it's got a number in there somewhere. And that's what he did today. That's pretty cool.
Well, is 4 better than 2?
I don't know. I just think it's cool that he went and supported a good local spot.
No, I think it's great. I really do. And they showed him last night, and it looks like he's wearing the same thing he had on last night.
Yep. And, same hat anyway.
Yeah.
He's a guy that doesn't like to, I don't know, he's a weird dude. He does, he doesn't like his picture taken. He doesn't like when we saw him at the Super Bowl, he sets up at the back of the stage, for the media. Media was allowed to film and photograph the first 30 seconds of every song for the first 3 songs of the performances, except Chris Stapleton. He watching him in concert, it's like he doesn't look at the crowd very much. He sings directly to his wife. He's very seemingly uncomfortable being a celebrity. Cool. So I'm glad he took a picture with Mr. Richard Zamora today over at his restaurant.
No, I think that's very cool. And you had to figure he asked somebody, where's a good place to go get tacos?
He's jumping an Uber. Hey, man, take me to a good spot.
Well, there you go.
RMR. Where do you go?
At least go number 4.
That's it. That's where he ended up.
That's where it is.
The other celebrity sightings, Portnoy does this all the time, is pizza reviews. How in the hell did he choose Royal Pizza over on Days of Allah?
Dude, I have no idea, and I don't know if the folks at Royal Pizza listen, but
careful.
They put some kind of white sauce on their pizza.
Okay.
It's just, it's not good.
So you don't like Royal Pizza?
Not in particular, no. If I go and say, leave off the white sauce.
And what kind of pizza did you order that they'd put white sauce on it?
Dude, they put them on everything. I think it's their signature.
All right. Royal to me is all right. It's right across from my dentist over there off Days of Allah. They've got really good pizza rolls or pizza logs or whatever they call them. I don't know. What?
I don't know. You say logs, and yeah, stick with rolls. Hey, I got a log at Royal Pizza.
Better than the white sauce.
I guess so. I don't know what that sauce was, but I was very disappointed.
I'm just saying. Like, of all the places for Dave to go do a pizza review looking for a local spot.
With all the good No offense to Royal Pizza, but with all the other places we have here, Royal Pizza. He must have known somebody there.
No.
Is there only one in town?
There's only one I know of. It's on Days of Olive, right across from my dentist. Smile Structure.
Close to Clark High School. Not too far away.
Not too far. I don't know.
All right. Well,
of all the places, though, although he got a pretty good review, 6.8, according to Dave.
Not bad.
And he's a very difficult judge when it comes to pizza.
Uh-huh. I just want to know if the white sauce was on there. I'm going to have to call them and say, is that a signature thing? And
you can just go over there and give it a second try.
Can you give without the white sauce?
All right, but again, supporting local business.
I have no problem.
They
with
had
that.
one opportunity. You didn't like it. You've never gone back.
I haven't.
But chains. Over and over and over again.
Well, not necessarily because they don't put white sauce on their pizza.
So you might be able to ask for no white sauce.
I could go to Mellow Mushroom and have no problem.
This is true.
They don't put white sauce on their pizza.
They would if you asked.
Well,
they put pineapple on there if you asked.
We don't even know what that white sauce is. That's the problem.
Well, what did you order? I'm sure it was in the description.
I ordered a Supreme type pizza.
All right. Well, Supreme includes sour cream.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it probably does. Probably written right there in the menu.
At most normal places. I didn't know that was the thing.
Pledge, will you look up the Royal Pizza menu real quick and find out what their Supreme is and read the ingredient list, or somebody out there in our research department, which is you with time on your hands not working at work? You could do that.
See, that's the thing. It came out with white sauce, and I didn't order that. But it just was on
because
there.
It was part of whatever it is you ordered.
So if you're saying if I just got a pepperoni, there wouldn't be white sauce on it?
I've never had their pizza. Always their pizza rolls.
The logs?
Yeah.
So
I've only eaten there a couple of times, and generally it's after a dentist appointment.
Okay, all right. Well,
and
fair
they don't
enough.
sell pizza by the slice. That's why
no, they don't.
I do pizza rolls. At lunch, I want a good pizza by the slice place, and they are not one of those.
Are we? Did you get a menu there, Pledge?
Pledge is getting hungry.
I do. There is the Royal Pizza, which comes with the kebab sauce.
Kebab sauce.
And there's the Neapolitan pizza, which comes with a white sauce. So does their spinach and ricotta.
See?
So what is the kebab sauce? What is the white sauce? What is? But it says it comes with sauce.
It says it comes with a white sauce.
If the
who
customer,
the hell knows that? And what are you looking for that?
It's written on the menu.
It's written on the menu.
And so if you don't know what it is, you say, "What is that white sauce?" Or just leave the white sauce off. That's on you, man, not the restaurant. You're blaming the restaurant when you should blame yourself.
I'm looking at the toppings. I'm not looking at the sauce because typically you don't have a sauce on
It's written in there, right there. I mean, white sauce should be a red flag. Like, what sauce is this?
Well, they should write it in red then so it sticks out.
The funny thing is, it's the first thing listed. White sauce, chicken, capers, tomatoes. White sauce, chicken, ricotta, spinach. White sauce, tomatoes, fresh basil, feta cheese. Like, it's the first ingredient on all of these pizzas.
I didn't order any of that because I'm a meat guy. So I didn't order anything that feta cheese and spinach.
They do have red sauce ones, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pizzas on here that have white sauce. And it's the first thing said.
Every pizza has red sauce, most of them. I'm looking
Every pizza or most of them.
See, gourmet, they got a gourmet, and then especially, and there's white sauce all over it right there.
Yeah?
There it is.
So you saw a picture of it?
Yes.
And still ordered it?
No.
With the white sauce?
I didn't. I don't know how the white sauce got there.
Seriously.
It's been the same guy that's back there making the logs.
Well, I mean, whatever works for him.
You
should try them again and ask for no white sauce.
I'll have to do that.
But of all the places for Dave to end up for his Barstool Pizza review, Royal Pizza, and again, I've never had their pizza, but there's so many other places that he could have gone to. I was a little surprised, but I'm disappointed in you, Joe. This local business had one opportunity. You didn't like it because you ordered wrong, and you blame them.
Yeah, I think it must have been, I must have ordered the Royal King.
The Royal King sounds like your order.
It says red sauce, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, onions, mushrooms, olives, kebab meat, and kebab sauce. I don't know what the hell kebab sauce. I didn't quite get to the last sauce.
Yeah, I don't want to know what kebab sauce is.
Well, I don't either.
But it's right there on the menu.
I will say, as I'm looking at the pictures, if you just get a regular pizza, there's no kebab sauce.
Kebab sauce is a white sauce. It's delicious, homemade, creamy garlic.
Okay, it's not delicious, and it's white. It's not delicious, though.
So you're not a kebab sauce
I'm not a
fan.
kebab sauce guy.
Okay.
It's a Lebanese sauce.
Now, this pepperoni looks great. Fantastic.
Okay.
So I'll have to give him another shot.
There you go. Peer pressure is wonderful.
Just no white sauce.
But that's on you to order it.
Well, it's not
It's on
me.
the menu. It is on you.
Somebody needs to tell me, hey, dude, when we make these pizzas, we put a white sauce on there. You okay with that?
They say it's a gourmet pizza, so it's going to have more than just what you'd get from a delivery guy.
White sauce. Now I know. All right, Royal Pizza. I'll check you out at some point again.
I just got a message. I don't even know what the hell this means from Bobby. He was at Lovers downtown on Thursday. What the hell does that mean?
Lovers?
I have no idea what that means or who he's talking about. Is he talking about kebab in the sauce or Reinagel or Chris Stapleton? Sometimes when new people send messages, sometimes you see them right away. Sometimes I see them
Was that a Twitter message?
later. No, it's instant message on Facebook, and it popped right up on my screen because I was looking at the deal with Stapleton there. Because if I had seen this an hour later, I'd really have questions.
What the hell is that? A pizza place? Lovers?
I have no idea what Lovers is. It could be all kinds of things.
Well, it could be.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what Lovers is. We're going to find out, though.
I don't know.
Lovers Pizza.
Lovers Pizza.
Yeah, it's on Ashby Place, apparently.
I've never been there. So Portnoy was down there.
You got 5 stars. I'm just saying.
Well, it's over on Ashby?
It says 105 East Ashby.
Okay. I might go there tomorrow for lunch. I'm going to do a deal with KSYM in the morning because it's their pledge week at the college radio station. So I might go there for lunch after.
Well, good. Yeah, Florio's is right there, too, isn't it?
Ooh, well, Florio's is more on the way back to the station. Might go there. Well, see, that's where Dave should have gone. Being an East Coast guy, he'd love Florio's, except for all the Giants stuff that they have in there.
He's not a Giants fan?
He's from Boston.
That's why my buddy Bill Taylor likes that place. We used to go to Florio's all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I'm in there, but they got a great lunch special.
Well, Lovers doesn't have white sauce, so I'll have to try them out.
I'll get you a white sauced pizza, Joe.
No, I'm not doing it.
Why not?
Dude, I'm not. Just give me a pizza. I don't want white sauce on it.
Well, some people must like white sauce on their pizza.
I would like to know how popular that is. Does anybody out there listening enjoy white sauce or kebab sauce on your pizza? I'm just curious.
Pledge, make a poll on YouTube.
If you do, let me know.
Make a poll on YouTube. Oh, yeah, we'll get you a venison pizza with white sauce. Why waste the money?
Exactly.
Why waste the money?
Wow. Well, that was a hell of a headline blitz.
Oh, we didn't even do headline blitz.
I know.
Let's do that coming up. We'll shift things in the rundown because we've got some stories in the headline blitz that we cannot skip over today. This is not white sauce type stuff. We've got to get this in. Trust me. Might be some yellow involved. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. He's got his entire spring line on display right now, so if you need that logo on a nice golf shirt, fishing shirt, any kind of shirt, get in and see Sam. If you need T-shirts screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. If you need caps, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. All the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands. Only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. And, of course, with Fiesta right around the corner, you need a shirt made, you need anything made, your logo on anything. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th.
Who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help.
A little help over here?
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-away free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
Tomorrow morning at 6, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Check them out on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You okay over there? All right. Pledge is making movements I don't think he should make.
He always makes those movements.
It's a little overboard. I mean, it was almost like he was having a seizure or something while playing DJ Pledgey Pledge. Let's way late, but let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Yeah, we got sidetracked with white sauce on pizza.
Yeah, we did.
But there's no way, because I know a lot of you listening right now thinking about what to get Joe for Christmas. And now's the time to start planning. I know it's April. When's your birthday? November?
November, yeah.
No, November?
Yeah.
LeBron James has become the first male athlete to be featured in a Barbie doll set. He's the latest Ken Bassiter. He will make his first appearance on a Barbie doll set that's going to come out later this month. Now, priced at $75, pre-sale copies of the doll already going over $150 on eBay. But Joe is worth every penny to spend on this. It's a lovely doll of LeBron wearing a leather jacket that has the initials in Detroit Lion colors for whatever reason.
LJ.
LJ. Well, LeBron James.
Well, I got a question for you.
What?
These sell for $75.
Uh-huh.
Why the hell is somebody paying $150 on eBay if you can get it for $75?
Oh, because maybe pre-sale's already sold out.
I mean, that just sounds stupid. Let me pay double for that. I got plenty of money.
Well, I mean, I know you're going to go home and order some because who doesn't want a LeBron James Barbie doll?
I can't wait. Holy cow.
Venus Williams has had a Barbie doll. So is Mary Fowler, who's an Australian soccer star. But LeBron will be the first male athlete to ever be featured on a Ken doll.
I hope they're paying LeBron a truckload of money. Seriously. And how do I put this?
Bronny has earned that.
You got a 5-year-old daughter who...
I don't think this is for the 5-year-old daughter.
Wants to play with Barbies.
Yes. You have 5 daughters.
So...
You have grandkids.
So...
You understand Barbies.
Now, this comes in a set, or do you buy them individually?
The package I'm seeing, it looks individual.
Huh.
And they actually do a pretty good job of making LeBron look like LeBron. But you realize there in 2010, a Stephanie Canturi Barbie set, I don't even know who that is, set a record for the most expensive ever sold when it cleared at $300,000 at Christie's, an auction house. A film based on Mattel's IP, which featured Margot Robbie, highest grossing film in 2023, pulling in $1.4 billion at the box office.
Uh-huh.
And I know that you're going to get your LeBron James Barbies. You'll probably get two. One to keep in the package to sell for later and one that you could play with.
Well, right now on eBay, it's going for $154.95.
Dude.
There's been one sold in the last 24 hours, according to eBay. So they're not exactly flying off the shelf here. And if I can pre-order it for $75, why am I going to pay $154? That makes no sense to me. I could make an offer. You want me to make an offer?
Well, you can buy it now.
No.
It says two have sold at that price.
It says one sold in the last 24 hours.
Well, I'm on the same page. Oh, over here. But over here it says last one, two sold.
Yeah, but we got to go 48 hours for that.
Hang on.
So they're flying off the shelf, one every 24 hours.
Hey, man. People are willing to pay double the price.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you look at that, 20 people have saved it. They're watching this thing. Hold on. LeBron James Barbie. I'm going to look this up on. Is your phone ringing?
It is.
Is it your kid saying, Dad, buy that?
Spam risk.
Oh, not the kid saying, Dad, get me the Ken Bassett or LeBron James doll? I mean, Pledge is probably going to buy one. He collects all kinds of stuff that nobody needs.
Well, that's if you're buying it, you're thinking maybe it becomes valuable. I don't know. I just want to see if I can buy it for $75 instead of $154.
Dude, here's one for $250. I just went on and Googled on eBay. It's one for $250 plus $20 delivery. $245.65, $154.95. $185, $155, $81. I can get one right now for $81. Oh, there's 5 bids on it. It's got 8 days left on the auction.
Wow,
Dude,
have you noticed this?
There's a lot of expensive Barbies on
Have
here.
you noticed his letter jacket on the back? It says LeBron.
Well, what do you expect it to say?
Just a kid from Akron.
Well, again, what do you expect it to say?
Well, not just a kid from Akron.
Well, he is just a kid from Akron. It's got the sunglasses, the I Promise little wristband, the Nike shoes.
Well, if I'm a Pittsburgh Pirate, I'm a little upset by his T-shirt.
We Are Family?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Wasn't the Pittsburgh Pirates or the We Are Family?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean.
Who sang that song, Pledge?
Sister Sledge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't know. That's what Reinego wants for his birthday.
Yeah, please.
Somebody hook him up.
I can get it. Oh, wait a second.
See?
It's on Amazon.
Ronnie has earned it.
It's already on Amazon?
Currently unavailable. Coming soon.
Well, see, it's pre-order.
So how did somebody get one already?
They bought the pre-sale, and they're already trying to sell it. Like this guy called RC's Toy Chest. 94.5% positive reviews on eBay. I would not buy from him. Just saying. Did you hear Bucky Ball being introduced yesterday? The new Texas A&M head basketball coach?
Yeah.
Bucky McMillan.
He's a little goofy, isn't he?
Awkward is the word that comes to
All
mind.
right.
I certainly appreciate a passionate fan base. I love that. And some days you might like me less than others. But guess what? You're still going to be my friend. And I want to build these relationships. When I was in Alabama, if you said the name Bucky, most of the time people knew who you were talking about. And then this gas station rolls up into town. And now,
that's his
when
laugh.
you say Bucky, they say, like the gas station? And what I'll say about that, I take that as a compliment because I've been in those service stations, and it's excellence. And so what I can tell you, we're going to make this program so excellent out here that when you go to pull over and they say, hey, there's a Bucky's, let's pull over, they're going to say, oh, like the basketball coach.
I see what he did there. He's a little goofy, but, you give him a shot. He seems a little goofy.
You think?
Yeah. But
Bucky Ball.
I mean, that's a hell of a chance the Aggies are taking. I mean, seriously, consider that. Coming from where did he get Samson?
Yeah. That's quite a jump.
Certainly not one of those.
Do you think he laughed like that in the interview?
Hires.
I mean, you realize how important the interview process is. And there are times when there are people out there that interview well. And then all of a sudden your boss is like, man, that might be the worst hire I've ever made in my career. And then there are people that you could just tell during the interview process, they're not it. And that happened to a guy down in Florida. This guy down in Florida, he was trying to get himself a job, and they passed on him. And you know what this guy did when he was denied a job? He, according to police, after getting told by a company called Doors, Molding, and More, 51-year-old John Connington down in Florida, he filled up multiple bottles with pee and then started throwing it at the employees that actually had jobs there.
Inside the building?
Yes.
Well, look, they didn't let this guy even interview for the job because, well, he's not a very good dude.
Obviously.
Apparently. Allegedly. I think he spent some time in prison for some really bad stuff. So they wouldn't let him. So now the guy is, yeah.
He's a registered sex offender.
Yes.
He is accused of threatening to hit someone with a skateboard. He's 51. And then he threw bottle. It doesn't say how many. It says multiple bottles. So do you think this guy is 51 has been filling them up for days just in case?
Or he had a 12-pack. Just went to town.
Now the estimated value of merchandise that came in contact with his urine is over $1,000. And one of the guys that got splashed wearing shorts to work was not happy either. Thanks for the assist, Bucky.
Would you be happy if you got splattered by somebody's pee?
How do you put a value on that in the police report?
I don't know.
Trauma? Damage at work?
I mean, it's pretty gross. Yeah.
It is pretty gross.
So the good news about this company is that they had the wherewithal to not give this guy an interview. And I guess, is he going back to the Who Scout now?
Well, I mean, he's charged with felony battery and criminal mischief for his urine-soaked meltdown.
He's probably going back to the can.
Literally.
I don't mean the toilet.
You don't?
That dude sound like Revenge of the Nerds.
Bucky Ball.
Congratulations, Aggies.
I apologize, Aggies, because the jokes sometimes just write themselves. Yeah.
Is there any Aggie out there that feels good about this guy?
I mean, as long as he can coach basketball.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, we do know that. That's why he's got this job.
He was at Samson.
Samford. Yeah. That's not awkward at all.
Oh, that will forever live on.
Although if that dude cuts down the nets, I mean, we saw a kid yesterday cutting down the nets. I mean, Golden's 39 years old and he looks 21.
That dude, he does. He looks like a teenager.
I mean, watching him, we were 2 feet away from him for some time last night, and as giddy as he was, and giddy is the right word, you would not have known that was the head basketball coach if you didn't know who he was. And congrats. Florida got it done. Let's talk about what we saw last night. The Final Four national championship game in the Alamo Dome. The Ref Show. Let's talk about it. Coming up on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, will Rob Thompson return? That's the big question. We got NBA to talk. Spurs coming off a game last night. How they look, does it matter? Who knows? We'll talk about it. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to babbel.com. That's babbel.com.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Here's Comedians and Sketchers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands-Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as slip-ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers Slip-Ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, Slip-Ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers Slip-Ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
It is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Appreciate you tuning in on this Tuesday. Whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on the radio, however you're doing it, appreciate you tuning in. If you're commenting on YouTube, appreciate that. There's some interesting comments there. I know I said we were going to talk Final Four, but Pledge, do you have and Spurs actually play them tonight. Do you have a laugh of some dude that we don't say his name? Can you compare that to
Bucky? It's close.
It's close.
Kawhi's a little deeper.
Well, he's a fun guy.
Number 2.
I like Bucky's.
Let me hear Bucky. Kawhi. Bucky. Why? Can we hear him at the same time? No.
No.
Yeah, but you'll have to play one of them.
All right. Well,
it's
put it
one
on
over from your page.
Huh?
It's one over from the page you're on.
Hang on. This technical stuff.
Yeah.
Where?
Third row from the bottom.
Come on, Minix.
All right, ready?
Which one are you doing?
I'm going to do Bucky.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. So we can't play two things at once? That's bad.
You think I'm an idiot?
Yes.
There you go, Aggie fans.
Kids these days.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
From Buzz to Bucky, says Claymore. Art Garcia's getting mad. That's his coach.
Yeah.
That's my coach. Stop. We're all going to laugh that way. Dude, all he's got to do is win.
Well, it's all fun and games right now. We'll see what happens.
Well, and again, 3 years ago, Golden got hired at Florida, and he cut down the Nets last night. And what an incredible championship game. I know there was some bitching on social media last night about the refs in the second half because they called a game in the second half completely different than what they did in the first half. But the reality, Houston had their opportunities. They had 4 turnovers in the first 36 minutes of the game. They had 5 turnovers in the final 3:24. They turned it over 3 times in the final minute, including the last possession of the game. They didn't even get off a damn shot.
Boy, that was just – well, you know, I've looked at the replay, and it happened so fast last night at the game, it was hard to realize exactly what happened. But I think if he takes that shot there, it's blocked.
Yeah, definitely.
It's blocked. So he kind of panicked, dropped the ball. He couldn't touch it again, and that was the end of it. So,
you know, in the moment decision-making, he's right. That shot would have been blocked, and I guess nobody to pass to. He drops it. He knows he can't touch it. So he does the right thing. I can't touch that ball.
So he tries to hold the other guy, the one Florida guy, away from it.
It blocks him out, but why not just touch it, take the turnover so you save what precious seconds you have left? Maybe they miss a free throw. Maybe, you start the foul game. You do something, but to just sit there, and it had to kill him to not touch the ball, even though he knew he shouldn't. And armchair quarterbacking it, do you just touch the ball, get the whistle to stop the clock? Because who knows? At least you have an opportunity by watching. You just piss away any opportunity.
Well, that was the game. I mean, then at least you force Florida to try to inbound the ball. You never know. There's a steal. But at that point in time, there would not have been much time left on the clock. Not at all.
The idea that they didn't get off a final shot, their last two possessions, Kelvin Samson just beside himself.
Yeah, I'm just going through those last two possessions more than anything else. It's incomprehensible in that situation. We couldn't get a shot. We're down 2, and obviously we didn't need a 3. But, with Emmanuel, we were struggling to score the entire second half. We got, good looks, but Florida was doing a good job running us off the line and forcing us to score it. But we just didn't do a very good job of finishing some shots. Guys that's been in the paint scoring all year. LJ's developed a really good runner, floater. I didn't go very much tonight. Milos. But, give Florida credit, too. I'm not going to sit up here and poor mouth and pity mouth us. We held that team to 65 points. Clayton and Martin combined to go 5 for 20. If you'd have told me we'd hold those two guys to 5 for 20, and we had a good plan. We just didn't score it well enough to win.
Yeah, that's true, Coach. Very, very true.
Thanks, Pledge. So, Samson, very focused on the game, not distracted, or was he? He certainly wasn't thinking clearly post game last night with Tracy Wolfson.
The biggest thing that they needed to hear me say is I loved them, because I did. I loved this team. This was a once in a lifetime team, and that's why I felt like we could win the national championship with this group. I want to thank our fans that made this place such a awesome experience for our kids playing a national championship game with so many great Sooner fans. Can't thank our fans enough for coming here and supporting us. But we'll be back.
Did Kelvin Samson just thank Sooner fans?
He did.
He hasn't coached at OU since 2006.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Unbelievable. Sooner fans. Obviously a slip of the tongue. You got to give the guy a break. He was distraught.
He was.
Not thinking, obviously.
I guess at some point you just go into auto mode.
I guess.
But that was bad. How do you say Sooner fans in that time frame, right? I mean, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Sooner fans. I just wonder how the people in Houston took that. I mean, because they got to be playing that.
Well, they'd already turned the TV off in disgust.
Yeah, but talk radio in Houston today, how are you not playing that? You have to be.
That's a great question. I'll text a buddy of mine that works in Houston and see if they're. I'll text too. We'll text Pledge, text Dan Matthews. I'll text Sterner and see how they're handling the Sooner comments. Or do you think he just lets it slide by?
Well, no.
So many great Sooner fans.
No, you don't let that slide by. I mean, it was a mistake, but still. I mean,
is that an in the moment, just complete? The guy's devastated. That if you're a Houston fan, there's so many other things to be mad at, and maybe that's just the brilliant coaching of one Kelvin Samson, because my guys didn't play great down the stretch. My guys didn't shoot the ball well. So instead of them getting raked over the coals by talk radio tomorrow, I'm going to take the heat and accidentally have a slip of the tongue, right? Could that be it? Could that just be the brilliant coaching of one Kelvin Samson?
No.
I didn't think so either. But it sounded good, didn't it?
And look, if anybody's raking Houston over the coals, you're wrong. They played a hell of a game. It was two best teams in the country that played a hell of a game. And it came right down to the wire, as predicted here on this show.
Yep.
And it was just, hey, on last night, Florida was just a little bit better. If they played again tonight, who knows? Houston wins that game.
Yeah.
It was just that close. Those teams. So nobody should be raking the Houston Cougars over the coals.
I don't
Not
know.
at all.
I mean, Roberts was 3 of 13. He's better than that. Sharp was 3 of 11. He's better than that. So, L.J. Cryer, how he didn't get the final shot is beyond me. That's a kid that's won a national championship before.
Well, maybe
Baylor.
that's Coach Sampson's fault.
Well, I mean, he had the ball, gave it up, but how he didn't get it back, I mean, even Samson was kind of hard on some of his guys, like Roberts, when he was asked about the assists being down, like, well, you understand how assists works. We have to make shots, and we didn't do it.
Well, let me explain how an assist works, Evan. I'm not sure, but when you throw the ball to somebody and they score, that's an assist, right? Well, we threw the ball a lot to J1 in the post, and he missed some shots that he normally makes. So those were potential assists that we had a lot. We just didn't make a lot of shots. I don't know if it's certainly Florida. Let's give them credit for being a good defensive team.
You got to give Florida credit, but I mean, we know assists how they work, but some of those guys did not play great basketball yesterday.
Well, a lot of the Florida guys didn't play great basketball either. I mean, 65 points. Samson's right. You hold that Florida team to 65 points, you're going to beat them probably 8 out of 10 times. And last night they didn't get it done. Both of those teams played fantastic defense. I look at it, and I know we all want to say, well, Houston blew it or they choked or whatever, and they didn't. It was just two damn good basketball teams going head-to-head, and Florida was better last night.
Walter Clayton Jr. did not have a great game last night, but he made big-time plays when it mattered most.
Will Richard kept Florida in that game. If it not for Will Richard, they would have gotten blown out.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Mondo, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, boss man, it's about that slip of the tongue. It's like calling your present wife in a hidden argument or in a deep conversation, and you actually call her your ex's wife's name.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like, hold on, that came out wrong. But overall, you got to give them credit for the whole season. Don't knock them on the slip of the tongue. Those players, man, they did great.
Now, Mondo, you sound like you've had this experience, whether it was an argument or in the middle of sex or whatever. But you call your current wife's, your ex-wife's name. You're not getting credit for the entire season and how great everything was. In that moment, you were in trouble, my friend.
So many great fans.
You're in big trouble.
Yeah.
But there is, come on, just settle down and let's look at reality. Where are we now at this point that we were 10 years ago?
So, Mondo, you sound like a big Cougar fan, are you?
Not really. I'm not going to say big. I'm a UT guy. But I got to give them credit. They played excellent this season.
Absolutely.
And I pray to God that they continue with it. That's all you can hope for. And maybe that's what we need from Samson to say, hey, don't worry about my boys. My boys did good. I'm the one. He's trying to take the blame. I don't know what his theory is, but I think it was a slip of the tongue, but use it in his favor. Don't knock him to with something that he accomplished the whole season. We were all expecting them to win it. But it was two teams that were playing a lot of defense.
Yeah, they were. And again, 65-63 the final score. First time Houston lost a game where they held their opponent under 70.
And they hadn't lost since, November?
It's been a while.
It's been a while since they've lost the game.
Yep.
So it was just I enjoyed it. I thought it was two great teams going head-to-head, and just last night Florida was just a little bit better.
2 points better.
Yep.
Favored by 1. Cha-ching.
Yep.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Ever feel like everything in life is moving at hyperspeed? Slow things down with the all-new Nissan Murano, an unapologetic refuge amidst the daily hustle and bustle. Re-energize with massaging leather-appointed seats to melt away the tension of a busy day. Escape into your favorite music with a Bose premium sound system, or set the vibe with ambient mood lighting. Because sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Check out the all-new Nissan Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof, ambient lighting, and massaging leather-appointed seats are optional features.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, the Texas Rangers have activated third baseman Josh Young off the 10-day injured list prior to their game tonight against the Chicago Cubs. A game, by the way, you can hear right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star right after the Blitz. Strange coaching firing in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets, who are currently fourth in the West, well, they parted ways with head coach Mike Malone and GM Calvin Booth.
SportsCenter brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday afternoon.
Absolutely. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Incredible night in the Alamo Dome last night. The Florida Gators are your national champions.
Great weekend. Great sports weekend in San Antonio with the Valero Texas Open, the Final Four. Cherry on top last night with a great game. All the games were fantastic when it comes to the Final Four. The Auburn-Florida game on Saturday night was fantastic. Then, obviously, the comeback by the Cougars on Saturday night was
heard that was good.
Yeah, I heard it was good, too. Heard it on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, by the way.
Yep.
Sounded great. We didn't leave early last night.
No. In fact, didn't get home till well after midnight last night.
Uh-huh.
And again, for those, this is one of those kind of debrief. What did you guys think of the overall Final Four experience if you participated, if you went to the Music Fest, if you went to Fan Fest, if you went to one of the events, if you were at the games last night? Because this is the kind of stuff that they're discussing, whether it's with San Antonio Sports and the local organizing committee today or the NCAA, what was good, what wasn't good. At 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're listening on the radio or watching on television, because it is interesting when you're in the building, you don't hear and see everything that's going on television. What was Ian Eagle and the crew talking about on television, or Kugler and the crew talking about on the radio when you're there. And honestly, while we had good seats, they weren't great seats by any stretch. You watched more of the Jumbotron, especially at the far end, or if they were on the right side, because where we were, the set where Barkley and the crew were, now you could see through most of it because they actually tear all that down while the games are being played, but it's not like we had a great view of the court.
We weren't high enough, right? I think if you were a little bit higher in the stands, you would have seen a little bit better. But you could see what was going on and to an extent. But, yeah, most of the game, truth be told, I watched on the Jumbotron, which was okay because I had a great view of that. And you kind of see everything develop and all of that stuff. Look, to me it was great. And I've covered a lot of Final Fours. You have as well. I don't know. San Antonio just does it better than everybody else. I mean, they just do. And people say that. It's not just me saying it. People that come here from out of town, coaches, say the same thing. When you have the Riverwalk downtown, the convention center's right there by the Alamo Dome, where you can just walk to everything if you want to. It's awesome. When I went to the one at Jerry World, you had to take a 45-minute bus down to the convention center to do anything down there, and it's just a real pain in the butt. So San Antonio has the perfect layout for anything like this. It's just absolutely ideal.
San Antonio and New Orleans are probably the best host cities. The problem in San Antonio is the Alamo Dome.
opened in 1993. And I was talking about some of this morning with A.J. Hoffman on the Morning Huddle. The idea that we're not in line for another men's Final Four anytime soon. You know, the next several that have been announced, San Antonio's not on there yet. Indianapolis is getting 2 of them. You have North Texas is going to get one. And part of it is the Alamo Dome. Is it big enough? I think the Alamo Dome's perfect. Hell, there were 66,000 people in there last night.
Yeah.
68,000 on Saturday. The sightlines are great. Looks good on television. The walkable downtown, but it lacks the luxury suites, and it's all about making money. And you wonder with the Wemby Center, Project Marvel, how much that will help keep San Antonio in the rotation, because right now it feels like this could be the last for a while. We know the people at the Alamo Dome and the local organizing committee, and they've done a hell of a job. Elena Wells and Jenny Carnes and that entire crew. But is the building what the NCAA is looking for? Everything else is certainly there, because you're right. I mean, Arlington, they call it North Texas for a reason. There'll be stuff in Dallas. There'll be stuff in Fort Worth. There'll be stuff at Frisco, and the games are all the way out in Arlington. You know, the Super Bowl this year is in San Francisco, but it's actually Santa Clara, which is over an hour away. Gillette Stadium is forever away from downtown Boston. Glendale is nowhere near Phoenix. That's a trek. So, but again, it's the stadium size, and people are going to travel. Buses can get people there. Is the stadium big enough? I think the layout in San Antonio is almost perfect. I think they could maybe raise the court another foot, but outside of that, and I know I'm biased, but when we talk to other people from national media to the NCAA to, the Westwood One execs we were talking to, they love coming here, but is the building at the standard that the NCAA is looking at right now, being built in 1993? The answer right now, it feels like, is no.
Well, it is no, but the improvements they made to the Alamo Dome were to get this Final Four, and they did that, and they put some money in there because that's what the NCAA wanted. I would like to know. I'd like to talk with Jenny Carnes or some of the folks that organize this thing. What does the NCAA want? Is it suites? And if they do Project Marvel and they do the entire thing and upgrade the Alamo Dome like the plan says, then I'm sure we'll get another one. Look, again, whatever you think of the Alamo Dome and what improvements need to be made there, I don't care who you talk to. Coaches, players, families, everybody loves having this event in San Antonio because of the convenience of it. And if there's some tweaks and some things that need to be done to the Alamo Dome, so be it. But the NCAA, if they don't allow San Antonio to participate in this on a regular basis, they're the ones that are making the mistake, not San Antonio. And I'm convinced of that because, again, these events are perfect for this city, and this city always rolls out the red carpet. And what we saw on the Riverwalk on Friday, people having a great time down there, enjoying the festivities, the restaurants, the bars, all of that stuff. It just doesn't get any better.
Well, and from a local standpoint, it was kind of nice because, traffic in and out wasn't all that bad because, there were over 100,000 visitors in the city.
Yeah.
And there is, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's so walkable and easy to get there. I was telling, our boss who just recently moved here from California, he was like, nah. How are they going to do this river rally thing? I was like, well, all these fans are going to walk across that little bridge, and they're going to put the players on a bus, and, within 20 minutes, all this can happen. And it blew them away.
Yeah.
But San Antonio knows how to do these cool things that way. So I look at the concession lines were long, and that's typically a complaint. It has gotten so much better, but not like it is at some of the newer stadiums. The hallways aren't as wide, so the congestion that is there, and those are some things that I know they've worked on expanding. We do have wider hallways. We do have areas where concessions are better, but it's still not like when you go to some other places, especially the newer buildings. So, and adding more suites. I don't know how they fix all that, raise the roof, add them in, whatever they need to do to keep adding on to the dome. And I do believe some of that's a part of Project Marvel. I just hope that the NCAA says, San Antonio does it right. We get these complaints. I look at them as kind of minor.
I think they're minor, too. I've never heard anybody complain.
Are you kidding? About lines in the Alamo Dome?
Oh, please. There's lines everywhere.
There are lines everywhere.
There's lines everywhere.
If you're trying to create the overall fan experience for the money that those tickets cost, you better have a top-notch fan experience.
Well, sure, and I think if you're coming here and spending that money, you're having a top-notch fan experience. What other city takes the champion of that game down to a damn parade on the river? None have that opportunity. And so all the fans from Florida went down there, got to sit there, got to have drinks and enjoy a river parade. You don't get that in any other city in this country.
No, we need to keep more of those coming. And I know the people that are in charge of bringing them do everything they can, but the NCAA has requirements, and you wonder where they are. Let's go to the phones. Hey, Josh, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Nothing much. It's just, a little sad after the Houston loss. And I think this Kelvin Samson bashing, yes, he did make some mistakes on what he said, but I think we also need to remember where Kelvin Samson took Houston and where this basketball program was in 2016. And if any UTSA football fans are listening, look it up, because in 2016, the Houston basketball organization program was a joke. And he came in, made it something big, kind of what Jeff Traylor started at UTSA, and it's only building. He also did not take big superstar recruits and made them into national title contenders. And let's also remember, Houston was a contender last year. They didn't make the Final Four, but they did make the tournament, I believe, like a Sweet 16 berth. And so they're a good team, and it's a good program now, and it's being built through Kelvin Samson. So, yes, his heart was broken because he was right there and almost had that brass ring that has eluded him, I believe, his whole career.
Yep.
And he finally got it with his baby of Houston. And it hurts when you get it, because in the last 2 minutes, you don't get a shot. Your player, your players kind of don't play right. And like he said, J1, can't make a shot. We wanted to get assists. We wanted to get our assist numbers up. But to get an assist, someone's got to make a shot. And I understand that.
Well, that's it. But again, he called them Sooner fans. And, I texted Clint Sterner, and he said they haven't mentioned it. Dan Matthews, who works at 790, said I mentioned it once. Wasn't even really sure I heard him right the first time. And again, there's so many other things to look at with that game last night. And he could have had career win number 800. So he'll hit that milestone against a nothing school at the beginning of next season.
University.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
And they'll celebrate the hell out of it. Good night.
That was a fantastic interview, and I don't know if we have that or can get it, but he was talking. This was early in the game at one of the TV timeouts, and he said, you got to remember that Florida's a pretty good team. It's not like we're sitting here playing Sasquatch University in January. I thought it was hilarious. Nobody's bashing Kelvin Samson. If it sounds like that, well, I'm certainly not bashing him. It was a bad slip of the tongue. I think the guy's a hell of a coach. And Josh is right. He's done a hell of a job with the University of Houston. And again, there's no shame. They're heartbroken? Yes. There's no shame in losing that game last night. No shame at all.
Although
one team, I would have felt bad for either team.
Sure, but when you don't get a shot off in the final minute, when you have those two possessions like they did, and the turnovers, the plays that were called, I think it's fair to criticize Samson in that group down the stretch. You've got to come up, you've got to dial up something, and for them not to get a shot off, for them to be, I don't want to say confused, because it looked like they were trying to execute something, but it wasn't there, and you credit Florida for that. But the way they played down the stretch, and again, look at their turnovers in the final couple of minutes of that game. They had 4 turnovers for 36 minutes, and then 5 in the final 3.5. it's worthy of criticism. It was a hell of a game.
Or is it worthy of compliments for Florida?
Well, it goes both ways.
Well,
I'm not.
I just think it was good basketball. It was good, hard-fought basketball, and I don't think criticism of either team is warranted. It was a hell of a game.
It was.
I mean, nobody blew that game. It was just a hell of a game. It was a championship game that was just hard-fought, well-played, two good defensive teams. And, I mean, Houston's a lot older than Florida, I think. But, I mean, they're young men and kids. And, I mean, to put them in a spot like this with 70,000 people and millions watching on TV, I just think we're too quick to criticize when a team loses a basketball game like that, other than giving the other team credit and I'll give Houston all the credit in the world. That was, to me, was just a great basketball game, and Florida was just a little bit better.
All right, let me ask you this then, because Houston led by 12 points in that game.
Sure.
Duke was up 14. And while we credited Houston for a great comeback, we talked about Duke choking it away. Why does that not the same apply to Houston for choking that game away when they had a 12-point lead?
I don't remember saying Duke choked it away. That was a hell of a defensive effort by Houston.
It was.
They held Duke scoreless. That wasn't Duke choking anything away. That was Houston making plays and playing defense. I never said Duke choked that game away. Not at all. Houston's defense forced them to miss shots, and that gave them the opportunity to get back in the game. As far as Florida coming back from 12, you got to credit the officials a little bit, I think, because that helped. But the fact that Houston built a 12-point lead, you got to credit the officials for that as well in the second half. I don't know. I'm looking at it totally different. I think the best game of the tournament, I think, was Auburn and Florida. I mean, that game was back and forth all night. There was never a huge lead. It was back and forth. I guess there was a 9-point lead at halftime that Florida erased pretty quick, and it was nip and tuck after that. I don't know. I heard the criticism of Duke that they choked that game away. I don't see it that way. I saw a great performance by a Houston defense that forced Duke. Duke had never seen anything like that.
No, and again, I think Florida did to Houston what Houston did to Duke.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see a team blow a double-digit lead, was it a great comeback or a choke job? And it could be a combination of both. Houston didn't do the things down the stretch they needed to do, and the Florida Gators did. And the Florida Gators have done that time in and throughout this tournament. You talk about a team, should they have been there? Of all of them, Florida was the one that seemed, I want to say, lucky enough to be there because they had to have everything go their way in a couple of different games to cut down the nets last night.
I love everybody. And our comments on our YouTube chat, Duke gave that game away. So we credit Houston at all. Houston gets no credit for winning that game against Duke. Duke gave it away. Houston sucks. If it wasn't for Duke blowing it and choking, then, Houston wouldn't have won that game. I mean, that's ridiculous to say that. It's just completely ridiculous to say that in my mind. I just don't understand it. 12-point leads are not insurmountable. They're not, especially with as much time as they had left. Well, they have a 12-point lead with about 15 minutes to play. I mean, that's certainly not insurmountable. I just don't get all the criticism other than giving teams credit for doing what they had to do. There's another comment there. Well, this is what Florida does all year long. So, in other words, every team that Florida came back from, they choked, they blew it. That's ridiculous.
It's incomprehensible. In that situation, we couldn't get a shot.
And then there's that.
Oh, and then there's that. The guy had the shot. The Florida guy made a hell of a defensive play.
He did.
So, again, the shot was there, and it was a three-pointer. Could have won the game for Houston. But the Florida defense came through in the clutch.
They got the stop when needed. It was a fun game.
It was great.
I got to believe if they played a best-of-7 series, it would go to a Game 7.
Absolutely it would. Florida last night was just a little bit better.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Major news out of the NBA. Will it affect the Spurs? Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you are having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential, and commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Now, at Quartermoon, they're not generally big on specials, but they are running a pre-summer AC inspection special. For $58.99, they'll come out and inspect your capacitor, indoor coil, outdoor coil, filter, and check all the proper temperature levels to make sure your AC is ready for the hot summer months ahead. Get that scheduled. Call 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook.
Join us for San Antonio's premier fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, the tournament's over, Pledge. We needed this yesterday. Come on. It is The Blitz. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Menix. we've been fairly consistent for the last 6-8 weeks here on this show about Greg Popovich making the decision for himself, although I have said at some point the Spurs might have to make a decision for him. That timeline seems to need to speed up on when Pop has to make a decision on his future. And I say that all the respect to him and his career and his ability to go out on his own. But it's 50-50 right now, I think, for most fans right now. I don't know if Pop, where he's had internal conversations with the Spurs brass, and it's right that they have told him, from what we understand at this point, it's your call when you're ready to make it. But when you think about how important this offseason is, and if he is going to retire, finding the best coach. We talked about this when Taylor Jenkins got fired in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see that one coming. And I think everybody was blindsided by the news about 1 o'clock that Mike Malone's fired in Denver.
Crazy. 4 games left in the regular season. You're the 4th seed in the Western Conference. And now you fire your head coach and your general manager. I haven't seen any reaction from any of the players yet, but I have to imagine that this caught them out of the clear blue sky. I mean, I don't know if the ownership talked to Joker or some of the others before this happened, but I would imagine they're waking up today or in Sacramento where they're at, or flying to Sacramento, or getting on a plane, however they're doing it, and thinking, what the hell just happened?
It's bizarre because they do play at Sacramento tomorrow. So this afternoon, catch flight. Now they got a new head coach, interim GM fired, and there apparently is a lot of, I don't know, stuff between the GM and the coach. They didn't like each other. They didn't talk. They talked about each other behind their back. It's middle school all over again. Yep. But for the owner to fire everybody, you could just tell they're cleaning house. But 4 games to go, it just seems the timing is odd. But I'm selfish. You look at those 2 coaches, Jenkins and Malone, I think both would be wonderful replacements for Greg Popovich if Pop decides he doesn't want to coach anymore, if he is going to retire. Because when you look at all the others with ties to the Spurs organization that get mentioned, outside of Steve Kerr, I would rather have Malone and then Jenkins. Malone's available? Are you kidding? And again, while he's never worked here, he and Pop are really tight.
Yep.
So some people and some dude tweeted at me, it's disrespectful to talk about Pop that way. Is it? He's got to make a decision. This is one of the more important off seasons in recent San Antonio Spurs memory. When you think about the foundation is set for San Antonio with Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Steph Castle. A lottery pick likely coming. Well, a lottery pick coming where hopefully 1, but maybe top 4, but who knows? You got a high draft pick coming.
Yep.
You still have Atlanta's pick coming. You have money in free agency. You have very tradable players like a Devin Vassell that have value, a Sohan that have value that seem like maybe they don't fit. But we won't know how well they fit until you figure out who the coach is going to be. If it's not Greg Popovich, whoever that coach is going to have a lot of input on the direction the Spurs go in this offseason. The sooner, the better. And Malone's available. I can't imagine he'll be available for months. It's maybe weeks. There are going to be other jobs open. Phoenix will come open next week, I'm sure.
Yes, it will. I think it absolutely will. I think the writing's on the wall there for sure. And who knows what other jobs might come open. There's going to be some availability. That is for sure. So, look, I'd love to see Pop back. And if he doesn't come back to the floor, then I think he certainly needs to still be in the brain trust, right? I mean, because he can do that. But I think the rigors of coaching and all of that with what he's gone through, it's going to be difficult. And I think that decision needs to be made sooner rather than later. I was thinking, and I won't speak for you, but I think you were kind of thinking this too. Well, it's okay. He's got time. We'll let the season end, and then, he can make a decision. But now, with these coaching firings, it might speed up the process a little bit.
Well, they don't skip steps in San Antonio. We know that.
Yeah.
The idea, though, and I think I said on the show weeks ago, early to mid-May, you got to make a call.
Well,
maybe late May, you got to make a call, because I do feel like Pop going through his rehab has to give enough time. Now, if the reports are true that he was trying to come back and coach this season around the All-Star break, and then, of course, the blood clot that Wemby had might have changed everything. But if he were thinking this season, I got to believe he's far enough in his rehab to make a decision.
I think he knows.
And make the decision that's best for the organization.
Absolutely. And I think Pop will do that. I mean, I really do. I think he will do that. If he doesn't think he can come back and give it his all like he's done his entire career, then I don't think he comes back. But doesn't mean he goes away, right? I mean, I still think and would like to have his basketball mind involved in how this franchise moves forward, and I think that he would do that. But as far as getting a head coach, it's a pretty important thing. When you're looking at the draft lottery on May the 12th, and then the draft on the 25th of June, I mean, we're not talking about an enormous amount of time between now and then.
No, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it might have to be mid-April. If you're Peter Holt, RC, whoever makes the call to Pop, like, hey, we need to sit down and talk. What are you thinking? Because you've got some candidates that are available that if you were to put money on around Christmas, these guys wouldn't have been on the list, because both Taylor and Mike Malone, I think, are such complete surprises that they are available, that they were fired
absolutely
towards the end of the season. So all the different people that were projected as potential replacements for Greg Popovich should he decide to retire, you wouldn't have had these two, which look like the best options. I mean, we know Mitch Johnson ain't it. So when you look at, and I hope Pop is a part of the decision-making process, if he wants to be, to pick his successor and still be president of basketball operations.
Yeah.
And a guy like, I think, Mike Malone is strong enough to be able to work for a guy like Pop, because that won't be easy. I think you could say the same for Jenkins. Obviously, Steve Kerr, Coach Bud's going to become available. But when you look at, the Mike Browns or the Beckys or, all the different names that we constantly talk about, and who knows if that's actually what the Spurs are thinking. But if you can tell me I can go get a Mike Malone, if I'm Peter Holt, I'm making phone calls today.
Well, and they may be. It's look, I think they know. I just do. But you know how the Spurs are. They're gonna keep this in-house until Pop's ready to make that decision or make that call public. In my mind, and I don't know how the rehab's going, it didn't sound good when he met with the players, and that's really all I have to go on. When he met with the players, they didn't sound like he was doing all that great, and so that was concerning. And unless things get a lot better, I just don't know if the rigors of an 82-game schedule, sideline, travel, all of that stuff, for a Greg Popovich is gonna do him the most good. So I think you make that call, and obviously Pop is still involved in this franchise, and I hope he's involved big time in the franchise if that's what he wants to do, and I think he will. But it might be time to pass the torch to somebody else as far as sidelines go, and get this thing moving in the right direction, because it is a pivotal time in the future of this franchise.
The Spurs do play tonight. They've got the Clippers out in L.A., a late game. Some interesting games on the schedule tonight, some with a lot of guys like that Lakers-OKC game. You look at and go, man, I don't know. You want to make these games more interesting, make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog, one of the leading sports app. You can play in Texas, a place where you could turn $1 into 1,000, because you can win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog. Love playing the pick'em game. You can create your entries mixing multiple sports. Maybe you want to mix in a little baseball with your basketball. All you got to do is choose higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play with as little as $1. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog. Think about it. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. Get involved. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon that first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th.
Limited inventory had unlimited potential. What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rock's the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rock's has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rock's know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625. Or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry. You called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Watching Masters coverage here in the studio. A lot of people are going to have the itch to go play golf. A lot of you will scratch that on Monday.
Absolutely.
This Monday is our sold-out
Monday
golf tournament presented by Flight by Yingling.
Look at that. We're just part of the Masters. That's how big we are. Or the golf tournament is, I should say. It's just day 5 of the Masters.
Sure. Absolutely. We'll call Bo and have some pimento cheese sandwiches available.
I hope they have something else.
Egg salad?
I can stomach pimento cheese, but not a lot of it.
Somebody bring Joe some pimento sandwiches to the after party at the Hangar Bar on Petranco. That's where we will be 2 to 6 on Monday. So come hang out with us, even if you're not playing golf. Everybody's invited to the after party. Your chance to win some prizes will happen there as well. And I know Beer Santa will be out there from Flight by Yingling.
Yeah.
So, plenty of fun on the golf course, but at the same time, a lot of fun at the Hangar Bar on Petranco for the after party again. Our sold-out golf tournament coming up Monday, April 14th, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, sponsored in part by Ansira.com and PPL Motorhomes. Completely sold out, which is going to be fantastic. And if you're out at the Golf Club of Texas, the general manager out there, Bo, he's a Florida Gator guy. He's through and through. Florida
He's
Gator.
Got to be happy as hell.
That dude is on cloud 9.
Yeah.
So congrats, Bo.
Yep. Congrats. I'm not complaining. I was happy they won.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing against Houston. It's just you got to go with what you think.
You made your bet and you won.
That's it.
You made your bet and you won.
Vegas is, speaking of that, Vegas is so good.
Mm-hmm.
That line opened up at 1.5.
Uh-huh.
Came down to 1.
Yep.
That's what I got. And Florida wins by 2. How the hell are they so damn good?
Well, they were pretty damn close on the over-under, too.
Well, yeah. What did it finish at?
134 and a
half,
half,
I think
something
it was
like
140 or something. Yeah.
Give or take.
So it stayed under, but, yeah, it was close.
Which, again, with those defensive teams, staying under is, I don't want to say too much of a surprise, but it's kind of crazy when you look at it, that's for sure.
Yep, they're good.
So the Cowboys will start doing some stuff on Monday, their organized team activities. They actually could have started today, but they delayed it for a week. Or it could have started yesterday, but they delayed it for a week for whatever reason. Although with the new head coach, they get a little bit of extra time. And it'll be interesting next week when the guys are there and talking to the media. But I do find it somewhat interesting that new Cowboy backup quarterback Joe Milton having plenty to say about being a Cowboy. That dude is excited to not only be a Dallas Cowboy because his family grew up Cowboy fans. He now gets to wear a star in his helmet, but to work with a guy like Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he's very happy. He says he did an interview with Cowboys.com, and he says he feels great energy from Dak, and he wants to learn from him. And so, and look, the one thing I will say, and it's a compliment to Dak Prescott, he is a team guy. He's a good leader. And I think he will help Joe Milton out tremendously. I really do. He will go all in on teaching the young man the ropes of the Dallas Cowboys and teaching him to be a better quarterback. So,
and it's easy to do that when you don't have fear of losing your job.
Well, that too. That said, at least this year, anyway.
That said, Dak does need help. And hopefully that will come in the form of the draft. I've been on, they need a wide receiver here for a while. And I do think they need a legit number 2 wide receiver opposite of CeeDee Lamb. Although in Mel Kiper Jr.'s mock draft today, Mel does a 2-round mock. And with the 12th overall pick, Mel Kiper has Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina, going to the Cowboys. I don't hate it. I expect them to get a running back in this draft. I think there you got to follow your draft board. Wide receiver, running back, who's number 1 on my draft board, and that's who I have to go with. I wouldn't be mad at Hampton, but I want a wide receiver there.
Well, again, I'm leery about taking a running back that early in the draft for a number of reasons. I mean, their shelf life is limited, obviously. We've seen that, although there have been some that can last a long time. But yeah, I mean, everything I read about this kid, he's pretty damn good, and he's a bruiser, but can run as well and can break away. So I guess there'd be worse picks at 12. I would prefer a wide receiver or even a non-sexy pick and an offensive lineman.
Well, you wonder if you go running back, and let's go back to what Emmitt Smith told us when he was on the Blitz during Radio Row down in New Orleans. And all the talk was about Genty. Emmitt said he didn't want Genty, not because he didn't believe in Genty. He didn't believe the offensive line was ready for a running back like Genty. So if Hampton is drafted but he's not overly successful, everybody's going to be calling him a bust. But is that more on the offensive line? Now, you can go a lot of different ways with this. I believe it was Michael Irvin who said, we had a good offensive line, then we got Emmitt Smith, and now we had a great offensive line.
Yep.
So there is the great running back makes that offensive line look better. I don't know. Barry Sanders never really had a great offensive line, yet he always found ways. You got to trust your board, but they need weapons to make Dak Prescott better. Well, they need a running back. They need another explosive wide receiver.
They need weapons, period. Right? They addressed a couple of running backs, but neither one of those guys are the future of this team, and certainly probably not bell cow running backs.
I'm not even worried about the future. I mean, for this year, is Williams and Sanders enough to get it done? And my answer is no, let alone the future for years to come. For this year, they've got a better running back room than they had last year already.
No doubt.
But I'm not comfortable going into the season with Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams as my running backs, period.
Well, you get a Hampton. Would that satisfy?
Yes.
All right. Well, according to Mel Kiper, that's who the Cowboys are going to draft at number 12. Look, I think these mock drafts are fun. I like looking at them, but I think there's going to be some stuff happen. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some trades made. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to do that, but I'm just saying some others. And I look at this draft. I mean, the Houston Texans, right? What they did in that draft with C.J. Stroud and the other kid,
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson, yeah, that guy.
My favorite Texan.
That was fantastic.
It gave you peanut butter. That's why you don't like him.
No, I love him. The guy was great. When we interviewed him.
But you don't like peanut butter.
No, I don't like peanut butter. But that kind of stuff, when you're looking to get back in the game and get back quickly, you make moves like that. And look what it's done for the Texans. They have gotten back in the game, been in the playoffs now twice since then. So, That's what you do, and you be aggressive. And Nick Caserio is really good at that. Now, I would love to see Dallas pull something like that off. They got a lot of draft capital to work with. I'm just not sure that they're going to. But I think we'll see something like that from somebody who really likes a player that they're afraid is not going to last to where they get to. And there'll be some moves made.
The second round, Kuiper has the Cowboys taking Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, a corner. That surprises me. And I know they need a corner. If your draft board and you're trusting it, he's there, I'm good with that. But I need a running back and a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds. And I'd rather get those in the first 2. But it does surprise me a little bit, second round, going with a corner. Although, depending on how banged up Diggs is, or are they going to not sign Deron Bland and they're planning for the future? I mean, Jay Lou's out the door, so maybe. I mean, I could see the logic Mel Kiper's going with there, but as somebody that follows the Cowboys as closely as we do, I'd be surprised if they took a defensive back in the second round.
I really think that and I say this, I think they need help on both sides of the ball. But if I had to say one is worse than the other at this point in time, I'd say they need the help on the offense. And with Schottenheimer as the new head coach, I would think they would address running back and wide receiver early in this draft, and have that in their pocket, and then go for the other things that they need: offensive line, defensive line, cornerback. And again, depending on what they do, because they've got a hell of a lot of draft picks. So it depends on what they do, and again, trusting their board. But I look for offensive weapons with those first 2 picks.
Overall, Cam Ward, number 1 to Tennessee. Travis Hunter going to Cleveland. The Giants then taking Abdul Carter. Shedeur Sanders falls all the way down to 9. And I find it interesting because Mel Kiper, while he doesn't have the Giants taking Shedeur Sanders, and you go, okay, well, with Russell Wilson, with Jameis Winston, and they got DeVito still there, are they going to take a quarterback? But top of round 2, they got the Giants taking Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. So it is a little surprising. Maybe they're thinking, well, he'll be like Jalen Hurts. It is surprising to see Sanders drop down, because I think that ultimately will change as we get close to the draft, because quarterbacks tend to climb, not drop in the draft.
Look, I think if I'm the Giants, Abdul Carter, and you get an opportunity to take him at 3, you have to. You can't let that dude go by. There's no way.
Well, we're talking about Joe Shane.
Well, that's true too, but I just think that is the guy you have to take.
You wonder who his kid wants.
Well, there you go. What's his Madden rating?
Well, I mean, I would rather Abdul Carter not end up in the NFC East.
I know you would rather that, but if you're the Giants and you let Carter go by, the Patriots are going to scoop him up at 4. I don't think there's any question about that. So I just can't see him getting past the 3rd pick. I don't see that happening.
And you look at Travis Hunter. If I'm Cleveland, I'm taking Abdul Carter.
Well, I would too. You'd have a hell of a bookend there, right?
Dude, between him and Myles Garrett, my goodness. For years to come, you're going to win games 10-7, 10-3.
That's all you need.
10-6. Well, you don't have a quarterback.
Well, Kenny Pickett. Why do you hate Kenny Pickett?
You have watched that dude play, right?
I'm just asking why you hate. He's a nice guy.
Have you ever talked to him?
No.
Okay.
But I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Well, I mean,
he was hyped up coming out of college.
A lot of these guys are.
Yes, they are. It's got to be the toughest position to draft is a quarterback. In all honesty.
When you're going first round, it is.
Yeah.
Because the expectations are higher. Second round on, the guy's good. Turns out, man, diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
6th round. Dak Prescott. 4th round.
Tony Romo, undrafted.
Undrafted.
Tom Brady, 5th round.
6th.
Here we go. Whatever. I mean, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these quarterbacks, a lot of these number 1 picks don't live up to the hype.
No.
Or early round picks, I should say.
Nope, they do not. The Final Four certainly lived up to the hype last night. What an incredible finish in at the Alamo Dome. Let's talk about it. coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So if you couldn't have turned that game off last night, you watched it all the way to the end. If you were in the Alamo Dome last night, you didn't get home till well after midnight. Maybe you're a little sluggish today. Maybe you're a little tired. Here's a website for you, guys over 40, fixmylowt.com. That's where you need to go if you've been running out of energy or getting tired easily. You need Synergenics, all about helping men feel their best with TRT, otherwise known as testosterone replacement therapy. Synergenics has clinics all over the San Antonio area, all very convenient. One is close to you. Walk in, see a real medical provider, and get started. It's simple, no hassle. Guys love Synergenics because treatment plans, they're made just for you. You've seen online TRT services popping up everywhere, but who wants to be stuck waiting for test kits, lab results, meds, all that? No. You can go right now to Synergenics and get it done fast in person, and it's customized to you. It's so important. Personalized treatment is key because not all guys have the same testosterone levels. At Synergenics, their personalized therapy goes beyond standard treatments. They have been the go-to experts in TRT for well over a decade. And during the month of April, the consultation is free. Treatment is covered by most major insurance. Take advantage of this limited offer. It's super affordable way to check your testosterone levels and change your life for the better. So if you're feeling a bit off, don't wait. Synergenics helps men like you get back to feeling full of energy and ready to take on anything. If you're struggling to lose a few pounds, they can take care of that with prescription weight loss treatment options. You know what you need to do. Take control of your health today. Go to the website fixmylowt.com to book that appointment. fixmylowt.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday one. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday two. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Join us for San Antonio's premier Fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane, manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it is the big news of the day. Very strange coaching firing in the NBA. Denver Nuggets, currently 4th in the West, have parted ways with their head coach Mike Malone, also general manager Calvin Booth. Wow, Spurs now have been eliminated from playoff contention, but they've still got some business to take care of to finish out the season. They'll take on the Clippers in L.A. Tip-off there is set for 9:30.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Man.
He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Hey, Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday!
National champion was crowned last night in the Alamo Dome. And people are still bitching about stale popcorn.
Stale popcorn. Yeah, I had popcorn in the press room. It was good.
I did too. It was all right.
Well, it's popcorn.
Right?
Well, I mean,
although I don't know how fresh it was. I agree with a dude on our YouTube channel that said the popcorn was stale, not fresh.
Not fresh. Well, I wonder if they recycled all of that from Saturday. Probably.
Well, probably. I know I don't know. Maybe they are trash bags, but you always see them with those big old trash bags full of popcorn at the end of the day. I mean, why waste it?
Why waste it? It's popcorn.
It's popcorn. It's good.
I've eaten popcorn the next day that you made the night before, maybe a little left over. You go,
yeah,
have a few of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad.
No, it's good.
Popcorn's popcorn.
Dude, I love popcorn.
And if it's sitting there, you're going to eat it.
Absolutely.
Stale or not.
And last night the game was so good. I'm eating it because I need something.
Nervous.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. It's incredible. Watching on I don't know what channel. Are we guys watching the Golf Channel? They're showing Pro-Am of
That's John Daly.
That's John Daly. Now Pledge is going to change the channel. Either way, we were watching the Pro-Am earlier over at the Masters. Reinagle said, "What do you think it costs to play in the Pro-Am at the Masters?" I have no idea.
It's got to be pricey. I mean, it's got to be big time.
I can't imagine. What do you figure? And I'm just guessing. What do you figure it takes to play in the Pro-Am at the Valero Texas Open? $10,000 at least?
I don't know if it's I was fortunate enough to play in a senior tournament Pro-Am way back in the day. This is like 2003.
I did one of those over at Oak Hills. Gary Player and Roger Clemens were in my group, and Gary cussed me out for sucking at golf.
Well, as he should have.
Well.
So those were fun, right? And I remember the guy I played with, I think his name was Summerhill. Something like that. He wore one of those big hats.
Sombrero?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a sombrero,
Oh.
but you know what I'm talking about, those big golf hats that they wear.
Yeah.
That's the hole or that's the tournament I made it had to have been a 100-foot eagle putt at least.
Sure.
Something like that. And, well, I did it on camera, so, I mean, there's evidence.
Oh, wait, no, because you've told this story before and said it was at the Dominion.
I did say that.
Well, we're talking about Oak Hills.
Now, you said Oak Hills.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. So I don't know what it costs. I'm sure it's expensive. $10,000. I don't know.
I'm told 10 to 15 at Valero, Texas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that mostly businesses do that.
Well,
right?
yeah, because this is from somebody who would throw that kind of coin around.
Is that right?
Well, her former employer's coin. Let me put it that way.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
So if it's 10 to 15 grand, say, this has got to be what, 50 to 100?
Easy.
I would think.
Well, you think about the dinner tonight. Scotty Scheffler apparently didn't get the memo that it's Taco Tuesday.
Well, it's his dinner, Minix. He can have whatever he wants.
I'm just saying on Taco, the Masters Club dinner is tonight. The appetizers are cheeseburger sliders served Scotty style, whatever that means.
I don't know what that is.
Firecracker shrimp.
All right.
Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites.
Perfect.
Dude, that's the appetizers. I'm full.
Exactly, but that's really good.
The first course, Texas-style chili.
Okay.
The main course, wood-fired cowboy ribeye or blackened redfish. Family-style macaroni and cheese, jalapeno creamed corn, Brussels sprouts?
Sure.
Jeez. And chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes.
Ugh.
Dessert, warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with vanilla bean ice cream.
Nice. Sounds like a hell of a dinner.
It does.
Not bad.
It does.
Yeah.
Now, Pledge seems to think that the cheeseburger slider served Scotty style has the white sauce from the Royal Pizza place that you didn't enjoy that Portnoy from Barstool did, the kebab sauce.
Well, I don't know. You think Portnoy had the sauce?
I don't know.
He didn't mention that.
He didn't mention it.
We were talking about it because the day Portnoy was in town for the Final Four.
Yep.
And he always does the pizza review. We went to Royal Pizza.
Of all places.
I guess. He must know somebody. He didn't that wasn't a random thing. Somebody told him about that. And I've been to Royal Pizza once, and the pizza I got had this white sauce all over it. And so, and I didn't really enjoy that at all. So, but apparently it's...
Let's go back. Now, we looked it up. It's on the menu. You ordered it. But you had one experience there and never went back.
Well, no.
We're going to pressure you into going back.
I thought all their pizzas had this so-called white sauce on it.
Uh-huh.
And so if that's the case, I don't want to go back.
Well, we put a poll on our YouTube channel. Do you like white sauce on your pizza? 76% say no.
Of
63
not.
votes.
I'm surprised 24% say yes.
I mean, there's people out there that like pineapple on their pizza, too. They probably enjoy the white sauce or the kebab sauce, which might be two different sauces.
Well, there are two different. One's kebab, and I can't remember what the other was. Just
white. It
white
just said
sauce.
white sauce.
Yeah, it's like white.
Now, I've been to Royal Pizza a couple times, but I've never actually had pizza there. It's right across the street from my dentist's office. They're on Days of Allah, and I've always gotten their pizza rolls. Because they don't sell pizza by the slice at lunch.
AKA?
Pizza logs.
Pizza logs.
Why does that make you laugh?
I don't know. It just, when I think about a log.
By the way, just so you know, because this. That's new. That's the new head basketball coach at Texas A&M. Bucky McMillan. That's Bucky Ball.
That's Bucky.
In his very awkward press conference yesterday.
I'm just...
I certainly appreciate a passionate fan base. I love that. And some days you might like me less than others. But guess what? You're still going to be my friend. And I want to build these relationships. When I was in Alabama, if you said the name Bucky, most of the time people knew who you were talking about. And then this gas station rolls up into town. And now, when you say Bucky, they say, like the gas station? And what I'll say about that, I take that as a compliment, because I've been in those service stations, and it's excellence. And so what I can tell you, we're going to make this program so excellent out here that when you go to pull over and they say, hey, there's a Bucky's, let's pull over, they're going to say, oh, like the basketball coach.
Starring in Revenge of the Nerds 3, Bucky Ball. Dude, are you kidding me? First of all, Bucky's is not a service station, is it?
Well, yes.
Well, I mean, there's gas pumps, but when I think of a service station, I'm thinking of the dude comes out and, that's way back in the day.
How old are you?
I'm old as hell.
I mean, you're going to call it a fill-in station next?
Fill-in station? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Bucky's is a little more upscale than that, isn't it? I mean, dude, that's like a mall in there with a food court.
Yeah, but no place to sit down and eat.
No, that's true. They don't have that, which is unfortunate.
You spend enough time in there. What do you mean, unfortunate?
Well, I like Bucky's, but if you have to go and get, like, stuff. Like, their barbecue sandwiches are pretty good. But I can't eat that while I'm driving, or it's all over me.
Well, you're right. They do need some tables, but they don't want you there that long.
No, they don't.
And I love the kolaches there. Because you're right. Even their breakfast tacos, there's too much going on to eat and drive.
Now, the kolaches are good. You can eat those and drive. That's not a problem. Bucky's is solid.
It is.
Yeah.
But what about Bucky Ball?
Well, it remains to be seen if Bucky Ball will be solid or not. I guess it was in Sanford.
Yeah. A dude has made a massive jump. Massive.
Really surprises me that Texas A&M, and I mean this sincerely, that Texas A&M hired this guy. No ties to the university, or I guess does he have ties? I don't think so.
He was an assistant there before.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll see. Maybe the guy's the next coming of, I don't know, Rick Pitino or something. I have no idea, but he's certainly a goofball, I'll tell you that.
He was nervous.
Hi, Jinx.
He was nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spurs play tonight. You know who they play?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who was that? Old number 2.
Mm-hmm. They can't be in the same room together. You can't help but laugh when you hear that.
You can't.
If you're not laughing in your car right now, there's something wrong with you. Aggies, we're not making fun of you, I promise.
Well, maybe a little.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Every Aggie.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
I don't know about that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Hey, I hope he does well. Then, he can laugh at us.
Just think, that dude is doing that all the way to the bank.
Yeah, I guess he got a hell of a raise.
Yeah, he did. Good night.
Wow.
The goal is for him to cut down nets. With Florida winning last night, it still remains as UTEP and Baylor the only universities from the great state of Texas to win a college basketball championship.
Wow, isn't that something?
That's embarrassing.
By the way, Todd Golden became the youngest head coach ever to win a national championship last night.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Pretty impressive. We're either going to have the oldest or the youngest. And we got the youngest.
We got the youngest. Let's talk about the incredible game and atmosphere last night in the Alamo Dome for the Final Four. We'll do that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Got a question for you. Have you upgraded? Have you treated yourself to a good Connecticut quality water softener? If you haven't, I don't know what you're waiting for. It really is a game changer. There is nothing like it out there anywhere. Everything else is just second place, and by far. Connecticut Quality Water Softener is the most popular water softener on the market. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years, and it's made right here in the United States. And what I love about it is it doesn't run on electricity. It runs on that kinetic energy, but it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it is fantastic. Love taking a shower in the morning, putting on clothes that have been washed in a nice Connecticut quality water-softened washing machine. And the dishes come out of the dishwasher sparkling clean. It is fantastic. And I tell you what, right now, the fine folks at Connecticut are sweetening the pot a little bit because for a limited time, they're going to give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they will install right there at your kitchen sink. Also going to give you $400 trade-in of your old water softener. And how about this? How about some free money? You like free money? How about 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit? It's a great offer, and it's not going to last long. So don't wait. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. Why don't you do it right now? 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon Friday.
Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold-out San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by NCAA.com and PPL Motorhomes. Benefits the Pan American Golf Association. The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, my weekend, it's the Blitz. He's Joe, I'm Jason.
Yep.
I had one of those weekends where at one point I was the tall guy, but for the most of it, I was the short guy. Friday night, I'm at a bar, and Joe and I were just talking about it during the break. I'm at a bar, and the dudes from Mini Kiss walk into the bar.
Dude, I want to go see these guys.
Dude, they're great.
Yeah.
Well, they just played at the Amp Room downtown. They were at Come and Take It in Austin about a week ago. The lead singer of Mini Kiss is from San Antonio, a dude named Art, listener of the show.
Oh, nice.
And they're on tour. They all live from all over, but they've got about a week before they go out to Washington State. They're playing some casinos out in places where that's legal, like Washington State next week. So they're just hanging out here with this
legal?
little casinos.
Oh, casinos. Okay,
Yes.
I got you.
And so their summer was a little wrecked because Gene Simmons was supposed to have this tour, and they were opener for the tour, but it got canceled. So, now they've got some time on their hands, so they're just hanging out at the bar in San Antonio.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I took a picture with them, posted it. Our friend Gillespie said, "Man, I got to put my bra back on and come out to the bar." She didn't
have to.
Well, she did. She was at home. Was like, dude, those dudes are at the bar. I'm coming out.
So I'm looking at their tour dates, and I don't see them here at any time soon. So let's see. Where's Alamo, Texas?
Probably somewhere in the valley.
Oh, that was already.
Yeah, that's happened.
April 5th. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to look at this, man. I would love to go see these guys.
Dude, we might have to do something with them at the station.
Yeah. I think that'd be great.
I mean, we could probably fill the Alamo Lounge.
Yeah.
We haven't used that thing since COVID. No, but they're big time. They've been on a lot of big shows. Next week, Brad Williams is going to be on with us.
Uh-huh.
They've done a lot of stuff with Brad Williams.
Okay, all right.
A proper terminology here, right? They're little people.
Little people.
Yes.
Yes.
Mini. Mini Kiss.
Yes. Well, they're good. You were showing me a video, and man, they're really good.
Follow them on Instagram.
So,
I don't know if they showed up in a minivan or not, but if chances are you might see them at a bar near you.
It showed up in a minivan. Yeah. Okay.
What?
It's just saying. So I really want to. How are they going to be in Nashville in May? Pretty cool. They got there are a lot of tour dates.
Lot of tour dates. They do well.
They're good. They're really good.
The videos look fantastic. Some friends of mine, Aaron from Kingdom Collapse, he went and saw him come and take it. He and Art are friends. And L.A. Lloyd, who's big rock DJ up in Austin, used to work at KISS here in town years and years ago. Lloyd brought him on stage, and I saw Lloyd the next night at the Papa Roach show, and he was talking about bringing them on and how he had to bend way over to the microphone because one of the things is, dude, you can't adjust the microphone when you're out there to bring them on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, so check out Mini Kiss. Who knew they had a San Antonio tie?
Well, I'm really sorry. I missed that because I turned you down, so now I'm going
Yeah, you didn't want to go out. You were like, hey, you're probably going to go see something like Papa Rat. Manuel Mendoza says, to you, it's a minivan. For them, it's just a van.
Yeah.
Christopher Summers is having a bad day. This dude's been negative all day in the YouTube
That's just
chat.
Christopher Summers.
Never heard of them. Plus, I hate Rick music.
Well, he loves Kawhi, though.
Oh, does he?
Our old number 2. Apparently so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Chris, you got to be smiling now after you heard this. Unless, of course, you're a Houston Cougar fan, because then nothing is making you smile today, because that was a gut punch. That was
tough loss, yeah.
Brutal. And if you're a Houston fan, I got to believe you feel today more like you blew it than Florida won it. If you're neutral, you probably feel like, man, what an incredible game, and Florida made the plays down the stretch. You could almost listen to both arguments. That was a hell of a comeback by Florida. That was I don't want to call it a choke job, but a collapse by Houston. And I, depending on where you are, I think both can be true. That could be, you can call it a choke, a collapse, or whatever, and a hell of a comeback, because Florida, they forced 5 turnovers in the final 3.5 minutes of that game, 3 in the final minute, for a Houston team that had 4 turnovers in the first 36 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
You credit Florida for that.
I do. I credit Florida for that. And look, maybe I would feel different if Florida just doesn't do that all the time. Because they do. They did it to Texas Tech. They did it to UConn. And then last night they did it to Houston. So, I mean, it's not like it was a one-off. This team, they're never, leads are nothing. They did it, they did it against Auburn. They came back. They were down 9 points at halftime. Did it against Auburn. They came back. So, I might feel like it was a choke job if Florida just didn't do that stuff all the time.
Although Houston does that stuff all the time, too.
Sure.
And
they never really fell behind, though.
No, and Houston generally doesn't, although they did against Duke, and they were able to come back. But when I hear the coach, Kelvin Samson, talk about not getting a shot off on the final possession, the final 2 possessions, this to me sounds like the coach saying, yeah, we choked.
Yeah, I'm just going through those last 2 possessions more than anything else. It's incomprehensible in that situation. We couldn't get a shot. We're down 2, and obviously we didn't need a 3. But, with Emmanuel, we were struggling to score the entire second half. We got, good looks, but Florida was doing a good job running us off the line and forcing us to score it. But we just didn't do a very good job of finishing some shots. Guys that's been in the paint, scoring all year. LJ's developed a really good runner, floater. I didn't go very much tonight. Milos. But, give Florida credit, too. I'm not going to sit up here and poor mouth and pity mouth us. We held that team to 65 points. Clayton and Martin combined to go 5 for 20. If you had told me we'd hold those 2 guys to 5 for 20, and we had a good plan, we just didn't score it well enough to win.
Well, I tell you what, he's exactly right. And they did a hell of a job. They came into that game wanting to stop Clayton, and they did. I mean, that guy didn't score until there were 8 minutes left in the second half. And then he proceeded to reel off about 11 points, which was huge at the time. So Houston's defense is the best I've ever seen. I mean, I say ever seen, but certainly the best this year and certainly the best in the tournament. They were fantastic. But last night, Florida showed that they can play defense as well.
Now, the flow of the game changed at halftime.
It did.
There were four total fouls called in the first half. There were 30 in the second half. And when the crowd started chanting, "Refs, you suck," I was complete agreement with them, in agreement, because there was lacked flow. I'm curious watching on television because when you're there, you're not hearing what they're saying on television and the analysis and everything that goes with it. But I would imagine that they were talking about the flow of the game for everybody because the refs took over. The refs let them play in the first half, and they didn't let them play in the second half. Same refereeing crew, right? What happened at halftime? And I'm not typically a blame the official guy, but the refs changed that game, everything about that game. I'm not saying they changed the outcome, but the way that game was played, they set the mark in the first half on how physical they were going to let that game be. And in the second half, they changed that. The refereeing, the difference between the first half and second half officiating is almost, I don't know, incomprehensible, to steal a word from Kelvin Samson. I don't want to say criminal, but if they would have called that game that way the entire way, nobody would have a problem with it. But they didn't. They let them play in the first half, and they didn't let them play in the second half. And
unfortunately, I don't know why, because we had a hell of a game. We had a hell of a first half.
Yep.
It was a great first half. Both teams were physical. And the problem with the officiating last night is that you set a tone in that first half. I mean, you let them get physical. You let them play. And then all of a sudden, when they come out in the second half, you're not letting them play. And Florida was called for 7 fouls. There were 8 total fouls within 3 minutes of the second half beginning. 8 fouls in 3 minutes' time. I mean, that's just outrageous. That's how Houston built a 12-point lead. And then all of a sudden, the officiating went the other way.
Yep.
They were making calls against Houston. And that allowed Florida to get back in the game. So I don't know what was said by the officials at halftime, but they came out with a completely different mindset in the second half.
I don't want to say unwatchable. I don't think anybody turned it off, but it made it a tougher watch. The refs became too big of a story last night.
Yes.
I can only imagine the screaming you were doing at your television watching at home, knowing both sides in the building complaining and bitching and booing about the officiating, and that does take away the flow of the game. Again, it doesn't make it unwatchable, but it makes it tougher. And when you see that, it does make you question, what were they told at halftime? Did somebody go in there and say, "Hey, boys"? I don't know. I mean, it sucks it sucks in any sport, especially after a championship, when you're talking about the officials the next day, when the officials become a part of the storyline. That said, now you guys watching at home have the benefit of replay and what they're saying. And inside the Alamo Dome, you got some replays, not a lot. When they would go to replay and show it, I think the refs were right the majority of the time. I don't think I was upset with any of the calls after I saw the replays. And from our vantage point, it was hard to see some of the calls, but you're just, God, another whistle. When in the first half they let that play through.
Yeah, and I was screaming there at the press row. I said, let them play. And even though I had money on Florida, and obviously I wanted them to win, but it was like when they started calling them on Houston, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Stop. Let these guys play. These are great basketball players, 2 great teams, and I want to see them play ball like we saw in the first half. And the officials kind of took that away from us in the second half. They really did. I think look, we had a remarkable finish, and it was still, to me, a remarkable game. I really enjoyed it, but it could have been a lot better had they just let them play.
And you got to say, if this were a 7-game series instead of 1, this thing goes 7.
I don't think you're wrong at all there. I think you're absolutely right. These two teams are evenly matched, and obviously the two best teams in college basketball this year. I don't think there's any question.
On Twitter, Houston's men's basketball team's Twitter account posted 2 hours ago that they're home. And I'm glad to see there was a big crowd to greet them and a smiling Coach Samson.
Good.
Wearing a UH hoodie because last night he forgot what school he represents.
The biggest thing that they needed to hear me say is I loved them, because I did. I loved this team. This was a once-in-a-lifetime team, and that's why I felt like we could win the national championship with this group. I want to thank our fans that made this place such a awesome experience for our kids playing a national championship game with so many great Sooner fans.
What?
Can't thank our fans enough for coming here and supporting us.
He hasn't coached at Oklahoma
we'll be
since
back.
2006.
They're not the Houston Sooners?
They're not.
Okay, I'm just checking.
But maybe he was thinking I'll be home soon.
Maybe that's
I
it.
don't know.
Just real quick, Around the Horn, that show, Woody Page, who is a Denver columnist and has been for a long time, said, he's quoted in this tweet saying, I think they went based on what I've been told to Jokic, and he signed off on the firing of Malone.
Let's talk about Mike Malone fired today by the Denver Nuggets. We'll get into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now injury clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, will Rob Thompson return? That's the big question. We got NBA to talk. Spurs coming off a game last night. How'd they look? Does it matter? Who knows? We'll talk about it. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again, because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. people who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Big NBA news today. Shocking that the Denver Nuggets, with 4 games to go in the regular season, fired a coach that led them to a championship 2 years ago. Mike Malone out in Denver. They're also firing their general manager, completely cleaning house. Shocking move, although hearing reports out of Denver, maybe not so shocking.
Yeah, Woody Page, who's a longtime columnist there in Denver, was quoted as saying that the team actually went to Nikola Jokic, and he signed off on it, and that apparently the team had grown stale of Malone, or Malone had grown stale. And so that's why they made this move today, and that makes about as much sense as anything.
I mean, but why now?
That's a great question.
You're heading into the playoffs. If they go out early, they have lost 4 in a row because Jamal Murray is dealing with a bit of an injury. All right, go out in the first round, and you could say we just needed to make a change. It's just odd timing, although for Greg Popovich, I think that does need to speed up the clock for him to make a decision, because now you have 2 really good candidates, if Pop does decide to retire, to replace him. And Taylor Jenkins, who was a surprise firing in Memphis a couple weeks ago, and Mike Malone today.
And there's going to be some others. Mike Budenholzer will come available. Becky Hammond's out there. Mike Brown's out there. So there's some candidates out there, and it'd be an attractive job for anybody. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Right now, though, let's do the injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com. Let's welcome on Dr. David Espinosa here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Doc, I got to start not actually with an injury, but, last night at the Final Four at the championship game, we saw Wemby there. In fact, he walked right by Joe and myself. And, Wemby is a tall dude, but there is a kid on Florida's basketball team who is 7'9". He's not playing yet. He's a freshman, but he walks weird. He's just so giant. How does that happen? I mean, think about that.
There are many, many wonders in life, but yeah, it's amazing how just some of these kids and I mean genetics plays a role, but yeah, it's hard to say how some of these people get as big as they do, but it's impressive, especially the way they move around on the court.
Well, Doc, it's funny because most guys, I mean, you look at it that are that tall or kind of skinnier or on the skinny side. This guy's not. I mean, he's kind of thick all the way, from top to bottom. And I don't know, being that tall, does that add any extra pressure on knees or hips or ankles or anything like that?
Yeah, I think definitely, kind of going back to Yao Ming, I don't know if this is dating us a little bit, but, he had quite a few injuries and, just in general, there's just a lot more pressure and a lot more, demand that's kind of getting put onto the bones that might be stretched a little bit. So, the tall ones that have a little bit more meat on them, they're definitely in better shape for sure.
It's going to be interesting as far as tall guys that currently play basketball or not because of injuries. Joel Embiid is going to have arthroscopic surgery on his left knee next week. Second surgery on that knee in 14 months. It's one thing to have one, but to have two this close back to back, at what point do you start worrying about will he be able to play through this, or will surgery actually get him back to a point where he's a contributing NBA player for the Sixers?
Yeah, so it really kind of depends on exactly what they went in there for the first time around, and with the season kind of ramping up, it was probably a procedure, arthroscopic, so small little ports and little cameras that they go in, and probably a procedure that would kind of mitigate his symptoms to get him through the season. And so I wouldn't doubt if now they're going to go in and do either like a repair or something that he can recover from over the off season, and then get him back to shape before next season comes around.
Doc, I want to ask you, I want to switch gears and talk about Dak Prescott. And the question I've got for you is not necessarily his hamstring. He had it reattached, but he's lost about 30 pounds is the reports. When you do surgery on someone or any kind of surgery, do you recommend losing weight, or was that just a side effect that he may have done on his own?
Well, prior to surgery, I mean, first off, these guys are, amazing athletes with trainers and professional cooks, I'm sure, and all this stuff. But, there's always some level of nutritional status that you want to have kind of going into the surgery just to optimize the outcomes, whether it be recovery, whether it be healing ability, different things like that. You want to optimize the body so that way it's ready to take on the stress of a surgery. Now, losing 30 pounds, that's how much of that is from muscle mass, how much of that is intentional. I imagine it's intentional. And just if he's carrying a little bit less weight, he may be a little bit more nimble, and it may not put so much stress and strain on that hamstring tendon as he starts coming back from surgery. Dr.
David Espinosa joining us here on The Blitz. It is our injury update. And while this is certainly not arthroscopic, it's baseball season to get the good baseball injuries. Jack Leiter goes on the 15-day DL because of a blister on his middle finger. Now, blisters are normally 3 or 4 days, are they not?
For us, yes. But for a pitcher, like, it really depends on how they're gripping the ball and their arsenal as far as different types of pitches that can put a real stress and strain and just increase friction between the skin layers. So it may heal in 3, 4, 5 days, but then if it just kind of gets re-aggravated over and over and over again, then they kind of, you just kind of have these setbacks. And so, usually that time frame, they kind of just want to make sure everything is cleared up and set to go and shouldn't have any setbacks.
Out of curiosity, Doc, because pitchers very delicate with their hands, so are surgeons. Can a surgeon call in sick with a blister? Like, I don't know if I can perform this surgery. I got a blister on my finger.
Well, they usually have some extra assistants on standby. You know, so in case there's something they gotta. Hey, hold this. Grab that. You know.
Well, it's usually the goofiest injuries that hurt the worst. I mean, I don't like getting blisters. They're painful.
Well, they are. But you can still come to work.
Exactly.
I can. It's not like I sit around and do surgeries over here.
We're saving the world.
Yeah, and we are.
We're saving the world.
Yeah, you can play hurt, but you can't play injured. You know?
All right, we're gonna get your predictions here, Doc. This coming Monday is our station golf tournament. What injury is Joe Reinego gonna come away with?
Ooh, ingrown toenail.
Well, as a matter of fact, Doc.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. You're gonna need that pivot.
I'm a finely tuned athlete, Doc. I was who you were talking about earlier. He's not laughing.
Yeah,
he knows better.
What injury is Rob Thompson going to come away with?
Back.
Oh, back.
Back in.
Yeah, don't do that.
Back in a lot of pride.
Yeah,
that is for sure. Doc, I always appreciate the knowledge and the insight, my friend.
Absolutely. Good talking with y'all. You have a great day.
Appreciate it. Dr. David Espinosa with the injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com.
We got some Rangers baseball coming up.
We do.
How about that?
They lost by a touchdown last night to the Cubs.
Dude, I can't say anything.
7-0.
Cardinals have won. They won 3 in a row to start the season. Ain't looking good.
I told you to enjoy those March wins while you could.
They're 4-7 at this point in time, and so, dude, I wasn't expecting a lot. But when they start off 3-0, and you're like, damn it.
No, you knew better.
Well, I did.
You knew. Hell, they gave up 13 runs to Boston, of all people.
They sure did. Hell, they've been giving up a lot of runs. I think I could go pitch for the Cardinals and do just as well.
You'd end up on the DL with a blister.
Yeah, I would. A blister, man, that hurts.
Pledge wants to know if you're coming up with an injury to duck you, since we're going to go play golf here soon.
Dude,
Not this week, but next.
I'm good, Pledge, and I'm not ducking you, and we'll have a little something on the line when we go out there. No question.
You say that now.
No, I don't. I'm not afraid of Pledge.
I mean, you should be.
I'm not afraid of Pledge.
I mean, you bailed out the last couple times we were scheduled to go play.
Dude, I'm there.
I mean, that's what you always say a week out.
Well, who started this whole adventure? It was me that suggested it. Was it not?
You suggested last time, and then you had to go like shopping for pots or something last time. Let's be honest. You're always duck and Pledge.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star,